This is killer. Oh, no, 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 no!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the new and improved RetroBlasting live stream.
I had to be quiet for the whole time.
Me too.
Yeah.
And we failed at it.
It's really hard.
You might have heard Tim and I talk there for a second. Sorry. New things. So anyway, let us know if you can hear us or if there's any sort of microphone problems. Aaron couldn't be with us today. Aaron had a conflict, but it's all good. We're all fine. It's not a fight or anything like that. So.
It's all right. If he's out there, I say weak sauce. But, it's all good.
Monkey Boy says, cool topic, guys. I liked Kuma from pole position. Me too, as you all know, if you remember my pole position.
Oh, yeah.
He is probably my favorite. He and Uni from Dungeons and Dragons, I would say, are my
Uni
two
was
favorite.
Good too. Yeah.
Yep.
Somebody had mentioned, like, I guess they saw the preview photo on Patreon or something, and they said something in the early chat about there's no Miss Lion on the table. And it's like, well, that's because there is no Miss Lion figure yet. Doesn't mean we won't talk about her. Again, you guys have got to start connecting what merchandise exists with what movie is out, with how much space is on the table. Miss Lion is coming out with the upcoming Firestar Marvel Legends figure, but that's the first time that there'll be a Miss Lion of any adequate size. There was a Mary Jane Watson figure that was 3 3/4 inch that came out about 10 years ago that came with a Miss Lion that was this big, but Mary Jane Watson.
Yeah, I was going to say, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, it was typical Hasbro. They're like, oh, pack that in there with that for nostalgia feels, and then crank that out there. And it was a big waste of time.
Jason says, wait, how can they do a live stream about animal sidekicks without Aaron, their animal sidekick? It's a great question. I was really bummed when Aaron wasn't able to make it. So.
Yeah. I was shocked at just... So we were talking about this last week and making this a topic. And then when we started that, I was amazed just when I was like, holy smoke, start going down the list of all the... I mean, it's massive.
Every single character or franchise seemed to have an animal sidekick at one point.
Because animals are the coolest.
Yeah, sometimes.
All the time.
Why don't you read some super chats and then we'll collect our thoughts.
Okay, well, first of all, I will let you know that I have pulled together some images to sort of, help remind us all of some of the way that these guys looked in addition to our stuff. And so I grouped them by species. And so I thought we might kind of go through in that fashion. We don't have to rigidly adhere to that, but it might sort of help us think of cool options.
Before you go down that, I know you want to answer that question from Brian because you have a vision for the intro.
So Brian asks, when is Tim going to be added to the intro? Well, I agree with you, Brian. And the thing is we've been wanting Tim and Aaron to be like more officially in the title sequence for a while, but then we stopped using that longer sequence. We do think that the song works well to begin our live streams, though. So we're going to, and by we I mean Michael. Going to re-edit our song sequence, our intro sequence specifically for the live stream, and we will be adding Tim and Aaron and maybe even Tim Ward if he's willing, so that everyone on the crew is completely represented. And just sort of refresh it and update it and make it a live stream specific thing.
But thank you, Brian.
Yes, thank you, Brian. Scott says, Scrappy Doo, the sidekick so universally despised that when a movie reboot turned him into a villain, not one person went to the internet to declare their childhood had been ruined.
That's a great point and funny. We were talking about that at lunch, actually.
We were, and oh, that's funny. So I have a slide with Scrappy Doo. I also am not a fan, but so this is a slide that can anyone tell me what these guys have in common with each other? Like these particular, we've got Spike from My Little Pony, we've got Scrappy Doo, and we've got Odie. Anybody?
They're all
were they voiced by the same person?
Nope.
Nope.
Well, I know it's not that Scrappy Doo unfortunately could talk, so
Right.
the other two can't really talk, so that's not the commonality.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
but usually it
I'll-
was still a person doing.
I'll
the-
tell
Yeah.
you. I'll tell you what it is. So they are all animal sidekicks of other animals.
Oh, okay.
Oh, good point. Yeah, because
Okay.
Garfield.
So it's like
Odie.
meta.
Right.
So
right.
like Scooby Doo wouldn't be a sidekick because he's the main character. But Scrappy Doo is definitely the quintessential annoying
Sidekick.
sidekick, right?
Mhm.
Like, and he's the annoying one that everyone fairly universally
Now,
despises.
Eric Pieper has a great question for you. Did you like Battle Cat or Swift Wind better because of your conflict between ponies and cats?
Well,
That's a good question.
it is a good question. So I will have to say that I never like watched or liked She-Ra as a kid. So I will say Battle Cat, although now going back and rewatching it, I would have to swap that out because Battle Cat and Cringer are both really annoying. Like their voice, both of them have a really annoying voice. I loved him as a kid. Like I was like, oh my god.
But you
he's
bring
so
up a
amazing.
good question though. Is Battle Cat and Cringer two different sidekicks?
Nah,
Well-
I think they're like it's like Two-Face, like two sides of the same coin, right?
Yeah, it's like Cringer is Adam's sidekick and Battle Cat is He-Man's
He-Man's
sidekick, and they're both the same person. One just has a miraculous tan. So, you know.
Sorry, I need to go back to our
Oh yeah,
Regular.
you're forgetting to switch back.
yeah.
Yeah, see, we're learning this new format with all this stuff.
We have
yeah.
some new
I have
software.
to to get used to how the layout is.
It's going to add a lot of really coolness to the live stream, but we do have to take some bumps and bruises along
Thank,
the way.
thank you, Bradshaw Studio, for the super sticker. And Zigma Experiment says, I love Thundercats, but Snarf can burn in hell.
Everybody feels
Yeah,
that way.
well, so-
Oh, I didn't put Snarf on the table.
Snarf,
Oh,
Oh,
Snarf.
darn.
well, that's all that we need to say about that.
Yeah, I don't. There's just so
Yeah, whatever.
whatever.
So
I mean, he was even a horrible toy. So
Yeah, he was. Well, the first toy that he was a non-movable package.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Then they came out with him in the Companions line, where suddenly he had joints, which is the one I have behind me.
Does it matter either way?
Yeah, I get the Companions one because at least he was packaged as his own figure. Because that's the same way that.
Would you have bought him and played with him?
No, but I did remember seeing the Companions figures for Wily Kit and Wily Cat that actually had the surfboards, which was the only.
Which
way
that
to
would have
get-
been fine because they were cool characters.
They were the only Thundercats figures I ever saw as a child that I actually wanted, and I never got them. And then I bought them a few years ago, but then I bought Snarf with them off of an Etsy sale. So I'm
Gotcha.
glad to have Snarf for the display.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Sal says, my favorite pet is the Rancor. I'm counting it because it had a keeper, the crying mess that he was.
That's a good point.
We should have put that up here.
I can do that.
We should have done
I
that.
will put the Rancor.
I don't know where, but
we'll see.
you'll have to move some movies or something.
So, Monkey Boy says, my hair is looking pretty swish. That's because I chopped it all off and it's still in shock. So it's just kind of,
I was
it
in
doesn't,
shock when
it
I got
doesn't
here.
really know what it wants to do right now. So, all right. Still looking for the next.
We all
super
felt
chat.
horrible in that scene when the guy was crying after Luke killed the Rancor. I mean, we were all
I
like,
was
"Man,
upset.
really?"
Wicked Person says, struggled with some animal sidekicks just as much as cute kid heroes and sidekicks. Loved strong, silent animal sidekicks. Well, it's like I really enjoy Kuma. He doesn't talk. He doesn't. To me, he's not annoying. He's sort of more. He's one of the smartest characters on the show, certainly more than Dan.
Yeah,
'cause-
but even though they ignore him and he's like trying to say, "Hey,
well,
hey,
Dan ignores him.
stuff's helping, stuff's
I think
going
Daisy
down."
kind of pays attention to him, but she's also smaller. So
Right.
yeah.
Here, I'll show. Since we talked about it, I'll show the Companions Snarf on the fancy dancy turntable.
Do you want me to turn on the turn?
Yeah, turn on our fanciness.
We
Look at that,
we got to get a
everybody.
new DSLR camera to make that.
Yes, it'll be easier than me sitting behind the camera and moving and shaking and making everybody dizzy and seasick.
That's called inherent quality.
Let's do it like this. Not to cut Tim out of the shot, but just
That's all right.
maybe we'll do it like this so that you can see us all. All right. All right, so even flips over here.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. There's a lot of.
Oh, hey, George Aiken. Saw you in the chat. Just wanted to say hi.
Yep. Bradshaw Studio says hello to all.
Hello, Bradshaw.
And you guys can talk,
Oh, I know. Okay, well, so there was
I'm
this
scrolling
debate.
to try to find super
There was
chats.
some debate when we were setting this up about robot animals.
Well, before we get, I will say this. Here's the one that I'm going to talk about first. I'm sorry.
No, don't say that.
Because I've seen 400 people even got messages before the stream started about Chewbacca and Ookla. So I'm going to say, wow, that was loud.
Well, I didn't want to do it on the table and knock over Laserbeak. So,
all right. So, hang on.
We're learning.
you want me to talk, or am I going to say something you're going to want me to not say?
No, I want to show the slide that's got my humanish character. So Chewbacca, Ookla, and Orko. Orko's kind of a stretch, but you said the other day that he's kind of humanoid. So they're kind of not animals, but they're not robots. They're not.
Well, I don't know that Orko's a sidekick. I mean, he had a lot of shows.
Oh,
where
he's a
he
sidekick.
was-
He's
where he was
100%
I
an
agree with
annoying.
you. I was like, I don't think
I don't
Orko
think he is.
classifies
I don't
as
think
a
he is
sidekick.
Okay, Orko to me is a quintessential sidekick.
All right, well, but I don't think he's an animal sidekick.
He's
See,
not.
like,
That's why I'm saying
Yeah.
I think that Chewbacca and Ookla, you could make arguments much like Orko that they are sidekicks, but they're not animals exactly.
well, but
they're not
furry, and they've got fangs, and they go,
they're-
and they do all that stuff.
I can think of several people I know that fit that description.
Well, that's just because you chose the wrong friends, and this time it will cost you. You could have warned them if only you spoke Jovitos.
I mean,
Wow.
I don't know. Orko, yeah.
I think Orko is a sidekick. He's really annoying. He's small. He floats around. He's the comic relief. He's like the annoying little kid. He's not funny. He's just annoying.
Well, as we were discussing developing this, and we were talking about animals and robots and this and that, the first part of the debate came up when I brought up Fluffy from Bionic 6. Bionic 6. And initially, Melinda said, well, no, he's not an animal. He's a robot. And I said, but he's made to look like a gorilla. So therefore, he's a robot. And we'd already put Tallyhawk from Silverhawks on the list. And Melinda pointed out, well, Tallyhawk was a real hawk that became partly metal, partly real, which I couldn't argue that point. Whereas Fluffy was never, he doesn't have like an ape brain in him. But because the Bionic 6 family are real people with bionics, the question remains, is Fluffy actually the reanimated brain of Harambe? Just, like
No.
meta-canon.
That's a good. I like it. That is now canon in my head.
Michael
It
Hinkson.
so is.
Michael Hinkson says, good morning, RetroBlasting crew from a very cold and snowy Hoth-like Reno, Nevada. Love the new super chat. I like Steed Donatello from Saber Rider.
Oh,
yeah.
I have him.
Yeah.
He's right there. It's just hard to get to him.
Well, and you want to know what? One of my favorite sidekicks is not even down here, so I've got to get him.
What? Oh, did you finally think of one?
I did.
Which one? You're not going to tell me?
You'll see. You know where I'm going.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Slimer,
Wow.
Slimer doesn't count either because
Why?
he's not an
ghost.
animal.
He's not an animal. He's a ghost.
But he's a sidekick.
He's not an animal,
All
though.
right, so this was
We don't know what he is.
He's-
You can't say Orko is a sidekick and then not have Slimer.
Yeah, but we know that
That's
he's
a
a
good
ghost.
point. That's a good point. He did get you there. You put Orko.
But we
on
don't know what he was a ghost of.
That's
I know,
also
but
true.
Orko's wearing a robe, so he could
He
be
could have been
some
a
kind
ghost
of.
an Orko.
He could have been a ghost of a
Put him on the table.
really annoying whatever. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the robot thing.
All right, go
because-
back to the robot thing. You go put your thing down.
So there are a lot of robot sidekicks. Some of
Yes.
them are cool, like Bubo from Clash of the Titans, and then some of them are really annoying, like 3030 in Brave Star.
Lyle Convoy is going to have some things to say to you about that.
It's mostly his voice that I find to be annoying. And then this is that whatever.
That's Laserbeak from Transformers.
And that's Tallyhawk. And that's
And-
Fluffy from Bionic 6 there in the top center for Tim.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing, too. I debated whether or not Laserbeak or Ravage was the bigger sidekick in Transformers.
I was going to ask you, though, like, we have Laserbeak sitting on Soundwave, but in the cartoon, it was usually Megatron.
Right. And
that had
and
Laserbeak.
Ravage was always with Soundwave.
Yeah, so, I mean, arguably...
But Laserbeak's home was Soundwave.
Yes.
So he belonged to Soundwave. He chummed up, he sucked up to the boss, but he belonged to Soundwave, right? So he was the only employee of the Decepticons that Megatron actually liked.
This is true.
You know?
He even said so.
He even said so.
In the movie.
Yeah.
Brian says Fancy Shot needs disco lighting.
Actually, that's
if
good
any of
point.
your if your super chats dropped off and I don't read them, just let me know, and Tim Ward can let me know in the background that I missed a chat.
Yeah, today for sure we're trying this new format, and it's going to take some time to find the balance. So if you feel like your super chat got lost somewhere, just let us know.
I'm trying to stay on top of them, but
yeah,
you know,
it's new software. Like I said, as you can see, it's letting us do some really cool stuff.
Right.
Prime Syndicate says, "Hello, crew. Great hair, Melinda. R.I.P. Artax." So,
oh yeah.
Oh, Artax.
Yeah.
Don't you have Artax?
No, Artax isn't a toy. I have Silver from Lone Ranger.
I thought you had an Artax.
No, Neverending Story has no toys. I have Pegasus from Clash of the Titans.
No, but I thought there was like a like a fan made one that you had or something. Really?
Nope.
Jody says, "Just cuz." Thanks, Jody.
Thanks, Jody.
Jody.
Monkey Boy says, "Whoa, these new features are blowing my mind. Cool."
That's right. You don't have to just watch us waffle up here anymore. We can cut to a graphic while we waffle.
K9 as a robot animal says, "Wicked person."
K9. I'll go get K9.
I mean, why didn't we think of K9?
Well, there's
but
a
that
lot
one's
of them.
not. That one is a full-on robot like Fluffy.
But
But he's a
Fluffy's
dog.
up here.
But he's a
and
dog.
I
there's a
didn't.
debate.
I disagree. I'm just gonna go on the record that
The
a
K9?
robot is not an animal.
I mean,
Don't look at me like
I
that.
am looking at you like that.
You know, you could do a whole stream about robots.
I am going to tell Wicked Person with his question about K9, affirmative, and I'm going to go get him.
I mean, why do you think we were so obsessed with sidekicks, animal sidekicks specifically?
Because I think people love and are intrigued by animals, and you know, want to like that's why Beastmaster was in my mind such a cool movie like at the time, because we all wanted to have that ability to communicate
to
with animals,
animals
understand
and
what they're
See through
thinking,
their eyes.
understand what they're going through, all that kind of stuff. And for me, as someone who really loves animals a lot, like I very much felt that way. Killamagwai says, "Would you rather fall into the bog of eternal stench or the quicksand from the Neverending Story? Sorry, in a dark mood."
Well, you don't die necessarily from the bog.
I guess it would depend on the day.
Right.
Some days you just want to like sink into the swamp of sadness.
The bog of eternal stench, it can still kill you. Like you can still sink into it, but if you save yourself, you stink forever. Whereas the other bog is just, it makes you sad.
You're just gonna die
unless you escape from it like Atreyu did. So
yeah,
he's saying
I would
into
definitely not escape from the swamps of sadness. I would just...
Well, I would definitely risk the swamp of sorrow before I did the
and he didn't escape. He was rescued.
Oh, that's right. Atreyu was rescued. That's right.
Falcor.
Right?
Great sidekick who we will be talking about.
Oh, that's actually a good. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess he is a sidekick. Yeah.
Clobber in Time says my favorite sidekick would be Ukla from Thundar. Loved Zabu, the saber-toothed sidekick from the Marvel Kazar.
Oh,
comic?
yeah, Kazar.
Kazar.
Yeah.
Though he started in the 70s.
Yeah, well, K9 started in the 70s as well, but he carried on into the 80s. Yeah,
I mean.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a little bit of flex here.
We can flex.
Arguably,
We
the
can
best
flex.
K9 was with Baker. I mean,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
for sure. Yeah. until he betrayed Baker's loyalty and went off with Lala Ward at the very end of that one episode. That was so weird. It was like a surrealist painting turned into a television.
Yeah, and then
episode.
all of us are like, what?
What?
No canine?
Jay Famous says, I wonder how many D&D nerds bought ferrets after Beastmaster came out. I can see the headlines. Veterinarians baffled. Number of ferrets choking on 8-sided dice skyrockets.
Oh, no. That's so bad. Do ferrets really choke on that? A ferret can eat just about anything. My daughter had a ferret. And while I love animals,
Did she see it too?
it's a horrible, horrible pet. They just are horrible pets.
I
They're
had a
not good
boyfriend
pets.
that had 2 ferrets. And I don't know if it was because of Beastmaster, although I would hazard to guess that yes. But
Well, that's
I liked them.
It
I
goes
thought
back
they
to that
were-
Family Guy reference where Brian is having to stay in Stewie's bedroom. Stewie's trying to get Brian to leave, and finally Brian comes in, and Stewie's holding this ferret that's going, and he's like, "What is that?" And he's like, "All the worst roommates have ferrets as pets."
Well, the thing about ferrets is that much like cats, their urine is very concentrated. So the
Yes.
smell is intense. So you have to
Wow.
really stay on top of
This
it.
is not what our viewers signed on for.
Look, we're talking about animals.
We're talking about Sidekicks urine today.
Everybody pees and poops, everyone. Wolfie says Slimer is the ghost of John Belushi.
That's true.
Oh, that is true. You're absolutely right. I totally forgot about that.
And technically, he was Dan Aykroyd's sidekick in Blues Brothers. Therefore, ergo, he is a sidekick.
And he's not human anymore, so
He's not quite an animal, not quite a human.
I am not an animal.
Now, somebody brought up earlier in the normal chat, they talked about the Daggett from Battlestar being a robot of a real Daggett, the Muffet or whatever they called it.
Yes.
So,
I got a lot of super
Okay,
chats, and they
super
they
chats.
go away on here. So
okay.
Midnight's Edge says, "Hey gang, I guess they're here.
Hey gang, RetroBlasting. Hey Tom, how are you doing? Thanks for being here.
So as far as I can go back, I can't even see the last super chat that I just posted. So hopefully I haven't missed any. Again, let
Can you
Tim
go to the YouTube side?
let Tim Ward know if we've missed one, and I'll read it
Yes.
later. Wicked Person says, watched Filmation's Lone Ranger this morning. A terrified Silver as seen on your table and in my cabinet got hung underneath a basketless hot air balloon and flown over a canyon. Animal abuse.
Well,
Yeah.
thank goodness that was animated.
yeah.
I'm glad that you were able to watch that because that's one of the most expensive cartoons now to track down on DVD is the Filmation Lone Ranger Zorro.
Chromius says $1. I'll buy that for $1, he says. And then,
So does that mean we're doing good or we're doing bad? I'm not
here's
sure.
$1. Work on your shtick. All right. Jay Famous says the best animal sidekick from the 80s is Bongo the Balloon Bear from the G.I. Joe comics. Change my mind.
Oh yeah, I remember him from the comics. Yeah, but what's funny was he wasn't really anything that was part of the adventures. He was like this weird era of a few issues. I'm trying to remember his context because I always rode right past it. It was just like
That's almost like the Burgles,
yes.
you know, where they
Robo
sidekicks.
Burbles?
Yeah.
Oh, the Robo Burbles.
I thought it was Burgles. Is it Burbles or Burgles?
Well,
There's
Thundercats?
Robo Burbles from the
Thundercats is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Robo Burbles. And then there's
Yeah.
Burgle Cut from Willow, who is not a
Yes.
sidekick. He's the mayor of the
Yeah.
town and a jerk.
Joseph Guire says Rancor, but no crumb. Thanks, guys, for what you do.
Rancor, but what?
No crumb.
Oh,
What's Crumb?
that's the handler, right?
Crumb.
I only know him as Rancor Keeper because I was born in 1978 and I grew up in the Kenner era, and he was called Rancor Keeper.
I have no idea.
If he
what
has a
it is.
name, I don't know what it is. Like, and I'm not trying to be a snot. It's just, guys, you got to remember, you can't come at me and say, "Hey, what do you think of Ponda Baba?" And I'll be like, "You mean effing Walrus Man?" Because his name is Walrus Man, also known as Buttmouth. Other than that, I don't know what's the name that they give it was a channel that I was watching years ago, or a podcast, like a collecting podcast, and they were talking about Star Wars Kenner figures, the vintage ones. It was a vintage episode, right? And so the guy, you can tell he's like some hipster young guy that didn't grow up with the stuff, and he's like, "I couldn't believe it, man. Like when I'm looking at the Return of the Jedi line, like they made Tessic? Oh my God. And I went, I'm listening and I'm like, Tessic?
Yeah.
What the heck? And so I go looking around, like I have to go internet for it. And it's like, that's Squidhead.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what his dumb expanded universe name is. And I don't care. If you're talking about the vintage Return of the Jedi line, you say Squidhead. You say Walrus Man.
Michael Hinkson says, here comes the great debate, getting the popcorn. I'm not sure which thing he was talking about, but I mean, there's going to be a lot of debates in this.
Yes,
because,
there is.
Wolfie says they did make Artax. He is the brown orange foam in the Dagobah Swamp playset. It's brutal, man.
You know what I should
Freaking
do?
brutal.
That's
I know what you're thinking. I'm going to get the Dagobah playset, hang the edge over a table, get Silver's head up through the swamp, and take a photograph. No!
And have the Lone Ranger pulling on the reins.
Or have Yoda be like, hey, Atreyu, if you can lift him up with the Force, he's yours. But if you fail...
I feel like you're writing a robot chicken. Raymond Hui says, good morning, all. I would argue that Han Solo's Tauntaun and ESB was the ultimate animal sidekick, because without it, Han couldn't have saved Luke when it made the ultimate sacrifice. And Melinda, your hair looks lovely. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's my least favorite part of that movie.
Yeah, but you know what? I think he's right, because sidekicks have to be courageous, and that Tauntaun had guts.
Did it have a name?
No.
Nobody likes my joke. Nobody likes my joke. No, nobody even cares that I came up with that on the fly. Nobody cares.
I thought it was great. Heavy 3PO says, good afternoon, everybody. Love your live.
Funny, huh? It was funny. Oh, screw all y'all.
I'm reading someone's super chat, and you're just talking right over poor Heavy 3PO.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Michael apologizes to you, Heavy 3PO. Good afternoon, everybody. Love your live streams. One of my favorite sidekicks is Mega Man's dog, Rush.
Yes, Mega Man's dog, Rush, is a classic sidekick. Did he show up in Mega Man 2 or 3? I think it was 3 that he showed up for the first time.
You know that I never got into Mega Man in the 80s, so it's hard for me to...
Right.
Which, I don't even know, was Mega Man 3 in the 80s or early 90s?
Mega Man 3, I want to say was early. It had to be early 90s because we had
yeah.
it in England, yeah.
A World Made of Cardboard says, loved the review of the cardboard bridge of Battlestar Galactica.
Ah, thank you. A World Made of Cardboard. I am so glad that you made that comment because
there is no other expert.
If you didn't like it, then that would be bad.
Yeah.
From the work that I've seen that you do, there is no other expert about cardboard in this world.
Yes.
Sal says, for Melinda, did you see the casting announcements for Sandman? Yes, I did. I don't have any problem with the casting for Sandman. I have the problem that Sandman is going to exist as a live action anything. I think it's going to suck, and I'm really mad about it.
He won't be called Sandman. He'll be called...
Well, he's got like 400 names, so...
He'll be called Sepet or something like that. It'll be a new expanded fiction name, and they'll retitle all the action figures, but you'll remember him as Sandman.
The castings that I've seen so far, they look fine. It's not going to be much like with Batman. I never feel like it's the actor who plays Batman that's ruining Batman. It's the people who are writing it. And I know Neil Gaiman is heavily involved in this production, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's not going to go and like completely change it. And I honestly, I just don't think that its emo qualities are going to translate well to modern times. I really don't. But maybe they'll prove me wrong. Number 2, he says, there is a fan film on YouTube with Bosk. It's awful. I don't doubt that. And 3, what are the chances of us discussing 80s metal in the project? Do you mean in our convention? Because we could definitely do that. So do you want to tell everyone that what I'm talking about?
I thought we kind of talked about... Oh, we would do that.
It was the after show.
Yeah. I don't know. Did Tony do a formal announcement that went wide?
He did on his.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, then, yeah. So Analog Toys, 2 Cents Toys, and RetroBlasting, us, we're all trying to work on a July virtual convention called 80s Iconicon.
Just Iconicon.
Oh, it's just Iconicon now? It's just Iconicon now.
Just
Iconicon. Just Iconicon. It's Iconicon and the Temple of Doom. But we're working on a virtual convention. We're trying to pull together all of the participants now, send out invites, everything like that, and do a 4-day online YouTube thing between multiple channels talking about all aspects of the 80s, toys, music, television. I don't know. Maybe there'll even be
Everything.
maybe there'll be a stream about clothing.
More
I don't know.
details to follow, but it'll be July 7th through 11th.
July 7th through 11th.
Do you get it? Do you get it?
7-Eleven.
11?
Nobody got my Tauntaun joke, so they probably didn't get it.
Lewis says, "Are Bebop and Rocksteady animal sidekicks or mutants?"
Oh, that's a good question.
Well,
I didn't really watch the show.
they're
that much,
mutants,
so.
but they're also Shredder's sidekicks. So in that sense, yeah, they thread that needle kind of like Ookla and Chewbacca. But they were humans first. But Tallyhawk was a hawk first before it was partly metal, partly real.
Tallyhawk was the only part of Silverhawks I liked. So
I think Tallyhawk's the only part of Silverhawk she likes.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's a horrible show. Horrible show. Horrible toys.
I love the design.
Killamagwai says, "As Marky Mark, please. You remind me of the Babe." What Babe? The Babe with the Power. That whole thing. I'm not going to read it all. I hate that.
You don't like
movie.
that? Oh well, yes, Puppet. I love that movie, and Bowie is wonderful in it. So
you remind me of the Babe. What Babe? The Babe with the Power. What power? Power voodoo, bro. Who do? You do.
If they ever do a remake and they don't use Wahlberg,
Mark Wahlberg doesn't hold a candle to David Bowie.
No, but
few do.
He would still be a good Goblin King.
Hey, girl, I brought you a gift. It's this ball. You can see through it. I don't know what it does, but it's sick, bro.
That's pretty good. I gotta say, that's pretty good.
They right? Would it not be awesome?
Scott says he's not from a Saturday cartoon, but here's a shout out to Clyde the orangutan. No animal ever signaled a right turn better.
You're absolutely right. That was great.
They don't. These don't have to be from cartoons, guys.
No,
like,
we were talking about Ludo from Labyrinth as one of them.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about Artax, and I mean, I've got
Falcor is even one. He had 2 animal sidekicks in that movie.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah,
with all the super chats that are pouring in, and thank you guys so much. I don't know that I can even take the time to do these, but let me see if I can get to the next super chat. I've got like a whole slide of like cats that I really wanted to get to.
Timothy Ward is working hard today.
I'm sure he is. I feel like it flipped, and I don't want to miss any. But World Made of Cardboard says my wife loves Canine. Is the remote control version on your table?
It is the remote control version. I have not tested the electronics in it yet, but I do have the remote.
Wicked Person says Brain from Inspector Gadget is smartest animal sidekick ever. How many other animal sidekicks were smarter than the hero? Well, Kuma was definitely smarter than Dan. Of course, this microphone is smarter than Dan.
You really did not like him.
I hate him.
Chewbacca was smarter than Han.
Yeah.
He knew how to fix the ship. Fluffy was smart enough not to go on any of the adventures after the first episode because he was like, nope, not doing that
I would
anymore.
say Laserbeak was smarter than a lot of the Decepticons.
Definitely Laserbeak was smarter. Polly was definitely smarter than Shipwreck. Definitely.
Again, you're got a low standard.
You do, but like, for example, I feel like, Spirit was a truly intelligent dude, and Freedom was a good companion for him. Snake Eyes and Timber the same way.
Yeah.
But Shipwreck, his parrot was smarter than he was, by far.
Eric O'Sullivan says, "Dear RetroBlasting team, with true gratitude through layoff, lockdown, and a literal quarantine, thank you very much for the community and conversation. I return to work next week, so this is my last Saturday with you until June. Much love."
Well, hey, I mean, we hate to lose you, but we're glad things are looking up for you. That is a big deal. Trust me.
Yeah, that's what this was all about, was hoping to
You
help
tell us what it's
get
like
through
out
it.
there. I mean,
Yeah. What's it like in the outside world?
I haven't left this basement in 7 months.
That statement sounds bad, but I want you to know there are no chains down here or a pit or any bottles of lotion.
Like to see the chains that could hold
There's
me.
no basket with lotion in it.
Scott Boyer says, "I don't think I can pick a favorite 80s sidekick, but I can certainly pick the absolute worst, Scrappy Doo. Thanks for everything you do, RetroBlasting."
Man, everybody's like on
People
Scrappy
hating
Doo.
the Scrappy
Yeah,
Doo.
well, anybody paying attention in the 80s hated Scrappy.
I mean, he was pretty horrible.
He was like their attempt at Bandit from Johnny Quest, but they forgot that there's a reason Bandit was a real dog.
Bandit was. He was a French bulldog. Yeah, I did love Bandit.
But see, Bandit was a real animal. He wasn't like, Now, Dark Crystal, I want to bring up Fezgig, the fuzzy tribble with the huge teeth. It's like a tribble that could attack you. I feel like he was an animal sidekick.
Yeah, no, he was. He definitely was.
I liked him. Francis says, "Hi guys, thanks for the live streams. Michael's mic seems a little low. Also, I think the guy who mentioned Crumb was referring to Salacious Crumb."
Oh, Salacious Crumb, which is Jabba's sidekick. Am I still low?
Hang on, let me go adjust that.
Okay.
That is normally Aaron's mic, so it might be turned down.
Well, why would it be turned down? He's a lot.
All right, so I have a slide that I want to share that I put together because it's my favorite one, and I had intended on starting with it because cats are my favorite, as everyone knows. So, on this slide, we've got, of course, Data's cool cat named Spot. We've got Strawberry Shortcake's cat Custard. We have Azrael from the Smurfs. We have the cat from the movie Ghost, which I know came out in 1990, but it was filmed in 1989, so I'm going to say it counts because that cat kind of saves the day for him. Like, the cat helps
Scares
him, like,
everybody,
and like gets the guy at the end. Of course, Cringer, the mad cat from is it Inspector Gadget?
Gadget, yeah.
Gadget.
Rue from Beastmaster. Of course, Ripley's awesome cat, Jonesy, who looks very similar to Spot, Data's cat. Space cats are orange cats, apparently.
My cat is an orange cat.
And of course, Panther, which is Skeletor's sidekick. So lots of cool cats that were sidekicks. There are more dogs that are sidekicks, of course, because dogs just, that reflects reality, because dogs are just more of a popular pet than cats, although I think cats have gained a lot of momentum in the last several years.
Yes.
Which I think is a good thing, because there are so many homeless cats, whereas you don't see as many homeless dogs here in America anyway.
Well, and dogs usually want to stick next to their human all the time, so.
Yeah. So, all right, back to comments. Let me see how many things I missed.
So has your affinity to like sidekicks changed as you've grown into adulthood, or?
I do have a higher bar for sidekicks to jump before I like them. So like I like Kuma from Pole Position.
Right.
I still don't like Battle Cat's voice. I like Battle Cat when he's not talking, for example.
Agreed.
Battle Cat's great until he opens his mouth. I like Timber a lot because Timber is a real animal. Tally Hawk is cool.
Yeah.
I actually like the Silverhawk's design, so screw both of you.
The design is great. The cartoon is,
I know.
nice.
The design's fine. You just can't play with it.
I took the beating for saying the cartoon wasn't that great. So yeah, I have like some standards for my sidekicks. Yeah.
As long as you don't play with them.
No. It's all above board.
Master Son says Snarf has my vote for the worst.
Yeah, Snarf is pretty
He's
annoying.
really annoying. He's like the T-Bob of the
T-Bob.
animal.
Oh, yeah.
T-Bob's not an animal. So
No, but I'm saying he's the T-Bob of the animal sidekick.
Yeah,
I would
Like,
agree with that, for
Yeah.
sure.
just as soon as I hear the voice, it just makes me.
No.
Anthony Whitehead says Jaws is my sidekick.
Wow.
Nice.
We were watching.
He's like Aquaman, like evil Aquaman.
That's my favorite line from the 2002 I Spy movie with Eddie Murphy. We just watched it the other day, and when Eddie Murphy, pulls that guy into the ring for the demo fight for the day before, he's like, man, this guy's brave. Look at him. It's like swimming with Jaws. Melinda even laughed at that joke.
MMORPGer 5 says, is Snarf a cat? I think he is supposed to be a cat, much like all the other Thundercats, but I'm not going to let him claim cat status, just at least not on this live stream, because
he looks like a dragon almost.
Yeah, he looks like a dragon cat. Yeah. God, I hate it when it jumps. It makes me so mad. Jody says pre-80s, but Muttley from Wacky Races is definitely the most funny animal sidekick. Fight me. A lot of people were talking about Muttley, and I do have him on. I think I have him on.
If you go back into the 70s, into those Hanna-Barbera cartoons like Hong Kong Phooey and Grape Ape and Jabberjaw. And...
Well, so we've got the dog slide here, and we've got Muttley up in the top right. I've also got Miss Lion there in the center bottom. We've got the little dog that was in the Christmas special with Skeletor that he really liked. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but and then Snoopy, of course, is just sort of a timeless sidekick, and he's definitely a sidekick that's pretty cool. And then the dog from Inspector Gadget.
Brain.
I never liked that show, so I can't remember his name.
Oh, communist.
She
Look.
was part of Claw because of the
I-
cat.
I don't know what to tell you. All right. So dogs are just sort of like I always see them as being like not as necessarily smart, although Brain would definitely be an outlier on that, but
Yeah, Brain is definitely and then of course there were so many dogs in the G.I. Joe run too. There was Junkyard that came with Mutt.
Oh, there's so many. I
yeah.
mean, Law.
Well, Order is the dog.
Or Order, Law and Order.
Law and Order. Timber is a wolf, but you could almost say he's
still a
dog-ish.
canine.
yeah, when I literally made a spreadsheet to try to
Junkyard,
count these
but-
up and like figure out how many of each type of animal there were, and yeah, I think dogs came out top, but cats were second, and then I think horses, and I was lumping things like wolves with dogs and like tigers with cats, you know,
Yes.
because
The weirdest real animal sidekicks that I think ever happened were later in the G.I. Joe run in the late 80s, early 90s.
That
Where-
third or fourth run or whatever.
Yeah, it was where they literally gave the second version of Deep Six an entire dolphin. And then they gave this Cobra guy, they gave him like a giant scorpion. Like it was this scorpion pet. It was like,
Well,
what?
I mean, you also got the magician. I mean,
yeah, but
G.I.
he didn't
Joe.
have
He did, yeah, but I'm talking about just G.I. Joe had jumped the shark, so to
Right.
speak, at that point.
Right.
Because
well, so GI
it's getting
Joe is a
weird.
good example. So like GI Joe, this is just a very small sampling of some of the GI Joe sidekicks. There were
Mhm.
so many of them. Why do you
Yes.
think? Why do you think that was? Like, why do you think?
I think it was because the popularity of Mutton Junkyard and Spirit and the Eagle in that one wave were so big
yes,
that they were like, we've got to put more animals with more Joes. And so the next wave was Snake Eyes and Timber. And then a wave later or so, it was Law and Order. And then they had Spearhead and Max. Remember the guy that came with the Bobcat?
Yeah, I forgot about that one. Yeah, that was
Mhm.
great.
Yeah.
You know, and it again, that goes back to what I was asking, like the phenomenon of sidekicks. I mean, honestly, before Junkyard Dog,
Mhm.
I try to think of.
Could it be because the animators just wanted to draw animals because they're really fun to draw?
They're really fun and they're easier to draw. And
Mhm.
you know, somebody's always said at Warner Brothers, there's got to be somebody that just draws dogs because all the Warner Brothers dogs look incredible.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I think
animals are
that's-
typically cute as well as like a lot of us think they are, and so I
Well,
mean,
it was
if
a way
they're
for us
being
to
made for
play.
kids,
You know, we
you know-
kind of had it as kids. We kind of had our sidekicks because we had our pets.
Mhm.
I mean, I had cats. I was a big cat lover when I was a kid, especially. I had Daisy, my cat. She was my sidekick.
Mhm.
You know, so it kind of made sense that you related more to people.
Well, have you ever seen Scrooged? Like
Yeah.
they're trying to like market commercials to people with pets and to the pets themselves. It's because like a lot of people have animals in their lives and
I
love
can't
animals.
get the
so-
antlers to stick to the mouse's head. Have you tried Staples?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. A World Made of Cardboard says 2 questions. What was Snarf, and was Panther ever shown in the He-Man Filmation cartoon?
I thought Panther was in the cartoon once, wasn't he? Or was he not? Maybe I'm.
Something in my brain says there's at least a scene with him. But I'm with you. I don't know if it was a commercial that had an animated version of him or if it was the actual show. But there was at least one scene with Panther. But Skeletor was not riding him.
No, I don't think he was.
I've never recall seeing Skeletor actually ride him. So
I'd have to watch the show again to find out.
Yeah.
Wicked Person says, I swear Tim turned up Melinda instead of Michael.
I don't think so, but I will double check.
Why, okay, how is it that me, the loudest person at this table, cannot seem to have a loud microphone?
A World Made of Cardboard says, I know Snarf was in Thundercats, but what was he? Again, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be a cat.
I thought he was a dragon. Can everybody hear me in the back? I thought he was.
Okay, here we go. On the Thundercats wiki, the Snarfs are a species of reptile cat creatures that are native to Thundera. So there's your answer, everyone. He is annoying.
I've double checked. I've got the right cable and the right plug.
Um,
That's the one I turned up. But those mics are so close together. There
A
might
world-
be some.
A
meat
world
over
made
it.
of cardboard says, oh, I'm clicking the wrong thing. That's why I'm having a problem with that. A world made of cardboard says, everybody answered my question about Snarf as I typed it. I'm too slow. So
Don't worry. Don't worry. I getting slow myself.
You see that? He can talk like that low, and nobody's like, I don't ever. But I'm literally talking like this the whole time, and somehow this thing can't be loud enough.
It's all right.
I met with these guys earlier before the show and just told them to say that to annoy you.
That's a lie.
Geek Legion of Doom says fish. Brock from Jason the Wheeled Warriors. I don't know what the fish means, but
It's the fish. There was a
Yeah.
big fish, a space fish that floated around. It didn't have to be in water, and it was what's her face's companion, that little
Yeah,
girl.
that was. I forgot about that thing.
Brock.
But it's like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Right.
well, that's like Delirium and the Endless. She had like a big floating fish that.
So is
One of those.
Pokemon nothing but sidekicks?
Well,
Or-
I think somebody down here asked as a super chat what makes something a sidekick. So I feel like I've got to get to it. Of course. Here we go. Next one. Jody says, "What makes an animal a sidekick versus just a pet?" I feel like when they actively participate in the story,
Yeah, exactly.
makes them a sidekick versus just
Like
passively being like brought along against their will. That would be more like
yeah,
if-
we saw in the G.I. Joe cartoon that the animals take active roles in the plot when they were around.
yes.
Same thing with Fluffy for one episode, the very first episode. Haven't seen Fluffy since, except in the beginnings in the house. So I'm wondering if he's ever going to get involved in.
No.
Yeah, he's
That was
only
the
in
only one.
he goes with IQ into that world or whatever, the hidden world under the volcano or whatever it is.
Jason says, Pokemon is Disney-ified dogfighting.
Now,
I'm sorry.
Jason,
That's
I
pretty
just-
dang
I love
funny.
you.
yeah. Now I brought this up with Melinda. Can everybody hear me? Because I think I'm being loud enough, but who knows? This thing could be down to one. I brought this up with Melinda. Bucky O'Hare is a universe of all animal anthropomorphized characters, and their sidekick is a human boy named Willie. So they.
Well, I feel like April O'Neil is an animal sidekick in the Ninja Turtles cartoon.
No, she's her own character with agency.
So all of these characters have their own agency. That's what makes them not pets. They're sidekicks. They're
Maybe
not the
that's
main
what it is.
character.
They have to demonstrate.
they're not the main character, but they are aware of what's going on and they take actions to further the plot or to help
And they could stand alone.
the lead.
Right? They could stand alone if they have to.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right, fine. Whatever.
Booger says, if fish are sidekicks, does that make Detective Fish really Barney Miller's sidekick?
That's a good question. Remember you had the goldfish?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I don't know that he takes a lot of action. Rush says, I think Timmy is Lassie's sidekick. I would agree.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Lassie's the headlining character.
Yeah, it's like somebody was saying something about some animal, Scooby-Doo, I think. I'm like, well, Scooby-Doo is the titular character. So you
Mhm.
can't, he's not a sidekick. He's the main guy.
Well, it's like, is Gizmo the sidekick in Gremlins, or is the
Just
kid the
literally
sidekick?
MMORPG or 5 says, is Gizmo
Oh,
an animal sidekick?
Thank you, MMORPG.
You read our minds.
Read our minds.
I kind of, he sort of is, but he's also almost like the, I don't know.
He takes the side seat a lot though because the movie is really about the kid fighting the gremlins. Gizmo's not a gremlin; he's a mogwai, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wildstar says the mice from Voltron.
That's a good
Sidekicks are just
question.
vermin. I'd say they're just vermin.
No, they take an active role in the plot later, so they actually
yeah,
are.
I guess they do, but
Yeah, they
they're-
shouldn't have.
they're-
but they
I don't
did.
consider them sidekicks
They
because
stole
they're
the
not
key.
on screen enough for them to be like main character. Like to me, a sidekick is like not the main character, but like supporting actor. Like
Yeah.
they're like in the show like enough that they matter. Because if it's just like in one scene, then it's just sort of like I feel like it's almost a stretch to have Jonesy as a main, but the cat actually does move the plot forward in
Yes.
several
Yeah.
instances. So, yeah, I think that's sort of the key there.
Who was who? Sorry, go ahead.
this Ra Digga says, anyone mention Nanook from the Lost Boys? That's a really good one.
Yeah, that is a
because
good one.
he does move the plot forward several times and is in the movie throughout.
Yeah, and he kills a vampire.
Right.
So-
And he also like is the reason why they almost like when the most annoying moment in that movie is when Sam leaves that poor dog. Like
Tied up at the
they're
fence.
literally spending the
Yeah.
whole day barricading the house up, and he's got the dog chained up at the fence, way away from.
Yeah, no,
What are
I
you
agree.
doing,
I was like, that's the
Sam? What are
dumbest
you
thing.
doing?
Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to smack him. All right.
What hero had the most animal sidekicks? Trick question.
Beastmaster.
Yeah.
Nope. Willow.
No.
Because in the very end, he changes Finn Rizal into like 7 different animals in the span of like 30 seconds.
That's a cheap.
It's a cheap dodge, but it's
That is
there.
a cheap dodge.
Just saying.
Michael says, "Is Brian from Family Guy a sidekick?"
I would say yes.
To
Yes,
Stewie.
or-
Yeah, to Stewie. Yeah.
And to Peter.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel like he's one of the characters. Like I don't even know if he's a sidekick. A
Yeah.
sidekick almost
I
implies
mean, you're right. It
to
could be
me,
either way.
like
Because Quagmire has his cat, right? Quagmire has his.
the thing about sidekick as a term is just that it's kind of like Robin, right? Like and someone mentioned mentioned him earlier, like Robin as a sidekick. I'm like, yeah, but he's not an animal.
Unless you have a very low opinion of Robin.
But I'm just saying, well, see, that's where
Holy rusted
I
bell
start
bag.
getting mad because it's like, what are we saying? We have low opinions of animals?
No, I don't mean it like that. I just mean like
I actually think animals are better than humans.
I do, and I certainly think animals are better than pantsless elves. All right, so with Robin
Sure.
being a pantsless elf, yeah.
But there is a bat dog.
Yes, there is in the comics continuity.
And
yeah.
Batman Beyond.
Oh, is there? See, I don't know much about Batman Beyond.
Yeah.
Prime Syndicate says Usagi Yojimbo is a sidekick in the cartoons.
Yeah, but he's his own standalone comic character,
Yeah.
independent of that, and he's a samurai to their ninja. So it's hard to say if he would even accept being called a sidekick.
I know.
He'd murder anybody that suggested it. As a matter of fact, Usagi Yojimbo is one of only 3 Ninja Turtle action figures that I actually bought in childhood. I just thought I'd throw out that fun fact for anybody that was curious.
Monkey Boy says some of us having video resolution quality issues. I'm sorry to hear it. Some people are not. I've seen several people saying that they are, and then several people say they're not, and so I don't really know.
It could be your area. Maybe there's some bandwidth throttling going on where you are.
Right.
It happens. Could be the weather. But everything's been going 5x5 on our end.
Yeah.
So if it was a universal issue, we'd be experiencing it first.
Yeah, I've got the stream pulled up in another window, and it looks totally clear on my screen.
Yeah,
so.
it's fine on my phone. But...
Sorry about that. Wolfie says, how about Santa's Little Helper, aka Santos L. Halper?
Yeah.
Bart even gets a credit card in his name to buy a replacement dog.
He's definitely a sidekick.
Voiced by Frank Welker. That's sad.
Oh, good point, Alisaur. Yoshi is Mario's sidekick. He's from the 90s, but he is a sidekick.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Luigi. I mean, I'm just
Well, Luigi's not an animal, although his reputation speaks otherwise.
We are all animals, my lady.
Unless you get the little mushroom guys. I mean,
Toad. Well, that's a fungus. That's not really an animal. That's a fungi sidekick.
So all right, I have another slide. I'm trying to remember which ones I've shown. I've definitely shown the cats and the dogs.
You've shown G.I. Joe.
Have we
No,
looked
we
at the
haven't
horses?
shown this.
So I gotta like find my
the
It would be-
Dungeon Master.
So yeah, so these guys, some of my favorites, Uni, of course, Artax from Neverending
Yep.
Story, 3030, who I both love and don't love, and then Spirit / Swiftwind, right?
Yes.
From She-Ra.
Yeah.
There are other horses, of course. This is not a completely comprehensive slide. It's just sort of some fun
There's
ones
lots
that
of
I
horses.
came up
There
with.
are horses of different colors.
Yes, lots of them.
I mean, there's Pegasus, of course, from Clash of the Titans. That's a good one that I should have put on there.
There's Destrier from Advanced Dungeons and
Yep.
Dragons, and then there's Nightmare, also from Advanced Dungeons.
Nightmare. Oh yeah,
Nightmare was awesome.
yeah, for sure.
I work with a lot of dark-minded people.
Hi, I'm Melinda. I'm your wife. I don't know if you've ever met me, but I'm super into like.
Remind us to talk to you about what happened last week in the after show.
Remember that really cool laser tag rifle I had in the last live stream? That was pretty great, right?
Jason says, "Why do I want to see Un from Wheeled Warriors writing Uni from D&D?"
Ununi.
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 It's like that Oprah, Uma. Do you guys remember
David
that?
Letterman, yep. You just dated yourself.
I'm a great date. Anyway,
Wow.
Analog Toys. Hi, Tony. He says,
Tony.
if anyone is having video resolution issues, it is on your end. I'm 13 hours in the future and on the other side of the world, and the stream looks and sounds amazing, especially Melinda's hair. Well, thank you, Tony. I appreciate it.
Me and Tony, who are
I talked about getting your hair cut, but I just didn't think that I had the looks to pull it off. So
it does take a special kind of person to pull our hairstyle off.
Yeah.
This is true.
I mean,
If you had done that, I'd have shown up on this live stream with a Guy Fawkes mask with the hat on and everything and been like, remember the 5th of November.
that would have been awesome. That would have been so awesome. All right, so someone says Gear Laden Lad says, is Mr. Pickles a sidekick? I don't know who Mr. Pickles is.
Mr. Pickles.
Mr. Pickles.
It sounds really familiar.
I know Pickle Rick. That's not the same thing.
No. My favorite episode of Rick and Morty.
Kieran says my hair sounds amazing. It feels so much lighter. I really wanted it to be a little bit either longer or shorter. It feels like I feel like it's in
There's
an
a
in-between
joke in there
stage.
somewhere, but I'll.
I know.
Everyone's talking about her hair.
It's the after show.
Nobody is talking about my manicure. Nobody.
You get mad when people talk about your hair, so
Which is beautiful, by the way.
I mean, it's very lovely.
I shouldn't have gotten into this part of the conversation. I should have stayed out of it.
How do you get that sheen?
Stop.
I'm just, it's perfect. Is it Selsun Blue?
It's called middle age.
Wicked Person says,
Do you use Dippity Doo?
tech pedantry. Only Michael has to turn off mic to both left and right to talk to either one of his co-hosts. Clip on, fix that.
Who was that?
What?
He's saying that like you have to turn
You're turning left
and
and right,
and
you're
so
not
you're not
your mic.
facing the mic when you're talking, and that's the problem. But that you need a clip on in
Yes.
order to keep it so.
We actually have lavs,
we do.
but with everything going on, we found that the lavs had interference issues. There was just weird things. We found the mics work best.
All right, so I'm just gonna lock myself in. I'm gonna Larry King this for the remainder.
Maybe we should get him
not
get him a
modern
headset.
Larry
Get him like
King.
a headset.
Ooh! Stand by, ion control, fire.
Hi, I'm Lisa. I'll be your time life operator. Brian,
We'll get him the Britney Spears mic, the little
The
wire. that
first
comes-
transport is away. Yay!
Brian says Tim's hair sounds like the ninja you never hear coming.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Fade to Black says R2D2 plays the role of the animal sidekick in the absence of Earth-based animals. Well, so we did talk about that earlier. and-
I'm going to give Tim the floor on this
Yeah,
one because
I'm
this was
gonna
a
give it-
big, not argument, but debate right before we
no, me
started.
and Tim were about to go round and round.
Well, I'm surprised it didn't come up before now. I was like, somebody's going to
It
say
may
something to the
have.
fact that Luke and R2 are not on the table because R2 is world famous as a sidekick and he
But
embodies
he's not
everything.
an animal.
But he is alive, arguably.
Is he? I don't think so.
Arguably.
I don't think so. I think he's just a machine.
Well, I mean, we could say the same thing about.
I didn't.
lots of
I
others,
didn't
but-
think that they should be on the table either.
So you don't think Laserbeak, K9, or Fluffy should be on the table because they're machines?
Correct.
Okay.
Just because you shape something like an animal doesn't make it an animal. Just because you have like a pocket pet doesn't mean that it's like a real pet.
Somebody brought up Barf from Spaceballs. Here I am in the mic
I mean,
talking.
I don't necessarily disagree with him. Barf is a great sidekick. Just like
See,
Dot.
Mike sounds fine. People are effing with y'all. Yep. That's what I thought.
Kieran says, "Can Melinda tie the mic around Michael's neck?" Well, I can.
that is an after show thing.
You're making the after show sound a little different than it actually is. Kal-El says Crypto is Superman's sidekick, but who knew they had dogs on Krypton?
Yes. I've always had a problem with that.
I have too, but I almost want to have Clobber in Time speak to that because he knows so much about those Golden Age. Is it Golden Age or
there was Crypto the Super Dog.
Yeah.
There was Streaky the Super Cat. There was the Super Monkey. There was Comet the Super Horse.
It was just.
It got a little ridiculous. It was a little like this is a little much.
This live stream is sponsored by Moon Pie, and we'd like to thank Moon Pie for all of their sponsoring of our.
Talk about sidekicks.
Yeah.
What happened? Did someone ask if we're sponsored by Moon Pie?
George Aitken says this live stream is sponsored by Moon Pie, and you're right. And Aaron's not here to say it's not true. So.
Oh, that's true. He does get weirded out by that, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He does.
I say it on the podcast all the time.
We are not sponsored by Moon Pie.
We're not sponsored by
but we'd
anybody.
like to be.
But
hint.
Tim,
no, we wouldn't be.
Specifically is open to sponsorship.
Are you ever going to say anything bad about Moon Pies?
No.
Well, so what's the problem? Tim, back me up.
I agree. Look, anything that brings money in the door, I don't care what it is.
He's cutthroat about it.
I am. I'm the worst one up here when it comes to
Do
making
you know
money.
the only reason that I would even entertain a discussion about possibly having Moon Pie as a sponsor of this channel?
Well, so you'd have heat in the wintertime? I mean,
is because
you know what I would love a Moon Pie t-shirt.
Is because we are a toys and nostalgia channel, and Moon Pie is not something that would directly be solicited to our viewers.
Exactly.
It would just be a background color.
Love a Moon Pie.
You know what?
I'm just saying.
I'm with her.
I know you're with her. I know you're with her.
Me and her are the only ones that try to keep this thing rolling. Money wise.
Prime
stand alone.
You would do everything free if we weren't on you, beating you over the head with that. You would do it free. And I'm sitting here going, you can't pay the bills.
Prime Syndicate said, I think
affirmative.
I think C-3PO is R2's sidekick.
I agree with that. I completely agree with that.
Until the second movie.
Yes.
In which case they get perma-separated until Endor.
The end.
Then Endor, they're
get reconnected to Cloud City.
They're like Merry and Pippin.
And that's what I'm saying. Then in Endor, they have the traditional sidekick relationship again. But in Empire, it's and Empire through the barge battle, it's Luke and R2 who are the R2's Luke's sidekick. He carries his lightsaber in. You know, he's there for Luke. He doesn't really care what happens to 3PO on Jabba's sail barge.
He does care.
He does care, but he
saves him.
I know, but he's there to shoot that lightsaber to Luke. He's still Luke's boy at that point, you know? Oh, I'm sorry. He's still Luke's boy at that point. Larry King live.
Tony says that we are sponsored by Tim Tams.
I would totally be sponsored by Tim Tams.
So you're okay with Tim Tams, just not Moon Pie?
It has a classy cachet to it, you know. It's sort of a Euro kind of,
oh my God.
You know. What? I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I'm just saying.
There was another joke, but I'll have to keep it to myself. It's an after show.
Beta
joke.
Ray Bob says, to be honest, Moon Pies are okay, but can sometimes be a little dry if you don't have something to wash them down, like a second sponsor. You know.
Oh, that is the best line today. The best. You win the live stream.
I will say though that if you pop those things in the microwave, they're not dry anymore. They're just delicious and
ooey and gooey.
Gooey, just so good.
It's not that kind of basement, I swear.
George Aiken says, think of all the free Moon Pies.
Oh, Zothra says, I think Broken Vader is Michael's sidekick. He would take exception to that.
He would, but I agree.
He's certainly not an animal, though.
Well, that's arguable sometimes. But anyways. What?
Really?
He's
What?
not an animal.
He's not an animal. I
He's
am
half a
not an
human
animal.
being.
He's a robot.
Oh, so you're saying that Darth Vader is like a Silverhawk? He's just a brain in a cyborg body at this point?
Yeah, and according, we can't have those.
Oh, that's true. So he doesn't qualify.
Matt Film Production says RetroBlasting here is a hard one. Does Cobra Commander, after he is turned into a snake, become Roadblock's sidekick?
That's a good one.
Well, there was a kind of prediction about that in the toy line where Serpentor came with a big golden snake. And you could argue, especially in playtime, you would often use that snake as Cobra Commander turning into that snake if you were playing the events of the movie. Yeah, I can see Roadblock having him as a sidekick for a few months and then ditching him in the Everglades like every other Floridian has done.
Oh my God.
What? It was in the news. It was in the news.
Sal says, but you are sponsored by me who sends moon pies, LOL.
That's true.
You do a lot of sponsoring, Sal. Thank you.
Sal is a bridge of support.
He is.
Matt says, aren't we all just Michael's sidekicks?
No, I don't even like people that much.
Tim Ward says, I want a moon pie.
You know, we actually kind of are Michael's sidekicks, but he does get tired of us every now and then.
You know what though? There's nothing I can do. I have gone and looked at every bit of good advice about how to get rid of sidekicks. It doesn't work. I actually tried to get everybody to vote, like in Death of the Family with Batman. I voted, and you guys voted to keep everybody here alive. I poisoned a bowl of dates upstairs to try and get rid of them, but none of them ate dates. It's just.
Sean says, what about Elvis the alligator from Miami Vice? I would argue that he's a pet more than a sidekick, and also that's just kind of cruel.
What?
He's
the alligator?
chained up on a boat. That's not super great for that poor alligator.
What show is that again?
Miami Vice.
Miami Vice. That's right.
He lives on the boat.
Yeah.
But you know how mad I get when I see animal cruelty.
I know how mad you get just in general.
I guess that's fair. It's fair.
This is going great. I think this new format is really going great. Don't you?
I do. I actually. Aaron, I'm going to hurt you next time I see you. That's all I'm going to say.
Why? Because he's not here to mitigate any of this?
There you go.
Kieran says, aren't moon pies technically repros?
They are. Everything.
Michael's response.
Everything is a repro. You're a repro. I'm a repro.
You're a repro, and you're a repro.
Yeah. Some of us.
I'm pretty unique.
Wicked Person says, trying to imagine if R2 had been the point of view POV character in all Star Wars movies ever.
No, he was not allowed to be a POV.
No, he said he's trying to imagine if.
Oh, if.
It would have been interesting.
It would have been.
Because he's the only one that knows everything.
Right, yeah. And he was supposed to be the POV character for the 9-film saga, according to George Lucas and Gary Kurtz.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, they took him out of the running when Lucas reimagined the prequels, and then the sequel trilogy totally threw him under the rug.
Well, they didn't ruin it in the prequels because they didn't erase his memory.
No, they didn't erase his memory, but like
C-3PO,
he really like 3PO for sure. 3PO was out of it for like 2.5 or 1.5 movies or something like that. Yeah. But R2 was in it more. But he didn't have the role in Revenge of the Sith that he had in Phantom Menace, for example.
Yeah, I'll give it that.
Jason says, technically, I'm a knockoff.
Yeah, exactly.
Which I think is pretty funny.
Or a repro.
We're all the products of reproduction, literally. Unless somebody has something they want to tell the group.
George Aitken says, install trapdoors under their seats, leading to a pond filled with mutated sea bass.
That's an Austin Powers reference. But yes.
How hard is it to get sharks with freaking laser beams on their head?
A World Made of Cardboard says, I'm assuming you mean moon pie. I wish I had a moon pie now. Your sponsorship works. See, we're sponsoring them is really what's happening right now. So
are they ill-tempered?
All you got to do is drive on up to your to your
Yes,
gas
yes.
station up the
Yes,
road.
they are.
All right.
Wicked Person says Zeus and Apollo on Magnum PI were sidekicks.
Oh yeah, the Dobermans, were they Dobermans?
Yes,
yeah.
yes, they were beautiful, beautiful Dobermans. My favorite dog.
Well,
Well,
no,
not my
well,
favorite dog. My second favorite dog. My first favorite dog is a greyhound, which I like tall, non-drooling, pointy
My
nose.
little
dogs.
French bulldog doesn't drool. Michael French does not drool.
Okay.
He
I
doesn't.
do like long faces though. The longer
So-
and taller, the better.
Love my little French bulldog. He is a wonderful little dog.
She
And
likes
a great
those,
sidekick.
She likes those dogs that look like Skeksis from the Dark Crystal. When they come around the corner at night, they're like, you're like, ah!
You're telling me a Doberman looks like a Skeksis?
Not a Dobermans don't look like these greyhounds and these other things you're talking about, like that. Was it-
Whippets?
No, not Whippets. Whippets are all right because they're smaller. But what was that Russian dog that had like the
Oh
long,
yeah,
the long,
like a Russian wolfhound.
No, those don't have long
no,
snouts.
it was one that looks
They
kind
do
of like
kinda.
it's like a big poodle greyhound mix, and it's like got the fur of a poodle, but it's got the long face of a greyhound.
I am a
and it-
cat person. I don't know every
I saw
dog
one of
breed.
those dogs when they were older, and I was just like, kill it with fire! Like it was just.
You're a terrible person.
I'm not a terrible person.
I keep telling them they need at least one dog. They won't listen to me.
Nope.
But
Michael, can you imagine the dog barking right now while we're trying to?
it wouldn't. I mean, you act like dogs are dumb. They're
No,
not
I don't
dumb.
act like
No,
they're dumb,
they're
but,
just-
but
Loud.
they're loud.
If somebody could, they do their job. If somebody comes around that's not supposed to be there, hey, guess what? You know.
Michael Hinkson says Melinda is sponsored by Tropical Swedish Fish. Michael is sponsored by RC Cola. Aaron is sponsored by Twizzlers, and Tim is sponsored by Jelly Bellies. Although I don't know, I think, yeah, I guess you might be RC Cola more than Moon Pies. I don't know.
know.
Ugh,
RC Cola and Tim Tams. Diabetes.
diabetes is right. Okay. Prime Syndicate says, so I have found an American candy shop in Sydney that sells moon pies, opens in 3 hours. I might miss someone after in the after show.
Well, just know this, Prime Syndicate. If you buy those, buy the smallest package they have, or buy one if they sell them singly, because you don't want to make a big investment on something you don't know if you're going to like yet. Then take it home and take Melinda's suggestion and put it in the microwave for.
I would say get two. Get two of them. Do one in the microwave.
Well, they may come in a box, but the point is you put it in the microwave on a plate for sure, because it's going to get gooey on the bottom, and you'll see it start to slowly start puffing. And as soon as you see it starting to puff, you got to take it out because it'll.
Would you say that 10
everywhere.
seconds is?
Or it's around 10 seconds.
Yeah, you put it up. For
if it's
10
a double decker, you might have to go like 12 seconds. It just depends.
Just put 10 seconds on the microwave and then watch it in the window. And as soon as it starts to go, whoop, then ding, stop it.
yeah, you don't want it to be so melty that it's gonna go.
You don't want it
everywhere.
to explode in your microwave.
Well, you
either.
know, and marshmallow that's liquid form and on fire will just burn you like.
Yeah, so that's
It's
what I'm
like
saying.
lava
You
in your
can't put
mouth.
it in there very long, but it
I
does.
know you think your uvula is not useful, but you don't want to burn it off.
Haddonfield Memorial says, "Love your videos and live streams. Thanks for the content."
You're welcome. I talked into the microphone. Can you hear me? You're welcome.
We're just gonna have to get real creative when we buy you a new microphone.
Jason says Melinda likes her dogs lanky and her cat's huge. That is accurate. I also like lanky cats, like the Sphinx.
I would like a Sphinx.
Yeah, and
They
like
got cool
those
personalities.
those ones that I can't remember what they're called right now. It's escaping my mind, but they have like the ears that like are really huge and they're almost on the side of their head and they look like Yoda.
That's Nobby from Harry Potter.
They do kind of look like Dobby.
Nobby. What's this got to do with my knob?
Mark C says if R2 had been the POV character for The Force Awakens, would have made it a better movie, as we would have only seen the inside of a tarp for over an hour. I will have to agree with Mark C this week. Maybe you'll work
That's
your
a
way
good one.
off my being on my list from last week.
Mark C made your list last week?
Yeah, don't you remember?
No.
He
I
kept
don't
like
remember.
razzing me about Canadian stuff. Like he was just
Oh.
I don't remember that. Anyway, Mark C, I think that's a great idea. I'd love to see a fan film that's just
A tarp.
the Force Awakens from R2D2's perspective, and it's just a tarp with like the glow of a little red and a little blue, and you just hear all the stuff going on.
Mumbling.
Yeah,
like,
just
"Whoa, whoa, whoa,
roar,
whoa,
yeah,
whoa,
like
whoa."
you hear like Carrie Fisher yelling at people because they're not like punching the computers right and stuff, and that'd be funny.
Killamagwai says, "Who takes longer getting ready, Melinda or Michael?"
Well,
Me,
Her.
for sure. Only for this though, like on a regular day, it's about the same.
Yeah, I don't. But yeah,
Especially now that COVID times means like aside from live stream day, I don't wear makeup, I don't do my hair. I just
well, but I
get to
also-
experience life that like you dudes do, where you just roll out of bed, brush your teeth, and throw on some clothes, and you're ready to go.
I admit I get distracted. Like I'm not doing anything complex. Like I don't put on makeup or anything like that.
No, he just sits there and he starts like
I start like watching a video, and then I'm like, oh, and then like Kirby and I, because Kirby likes to hang out, with me while I'm getting ready in the morning, and so like
Kirby
and I,
would hang out with you 24/7.
I know.
yeah, he
and
would be
so
down here right now.
We're just watching a video or whatever, and then I'll be like, oh yeah, I gotta shave, and I'll be like, do I really have to shave? It's a whole thing.
Do you use Barbasol?
I do.
He does. Jay Famous says, "Missed my super chat about Ponda Baba and Tessic." Oh, I'm sorry, Jay Famous.
Oh, you didn't have to do another super chat, Jay.
Yeah, you didn't.
Yeah, if you just, but thank you. But if you just told us in the chat,
or tell Tim Ward,
or tell Tim Ward in the chat, yeah,
he will.
So
post
next
it.
time, we hope to.
Thank you for this.
We don't want you to have to double dip.
What I'm thinking is, with this new interface, we'll need one person to run the interface and another person to just watch another screen to catch super chats. So we might be splitting up that for double duty, because Melinda's now basically running a presentation
And the show, and the
show,
starting,
and
and the
thing.
stopping.
So
why
for-
not? Just keep.
So for the next live stream, we'll
Triple
have
decker.
somebody else reading super chats while
Yes.
Melinda runs the show. So that's a
yeah, I think that's a great idea.
that's a learning that we've taken. But in the meantime, yeah, sorry about that.
Do you
So-
have anything to say about Ponda Baba and Tessic? I don't know what it is about them. It just
I didn't see his super chat about it because I already talked about Ponda Baba and Tessic earlier. So Jay Famous, just type it in as a normal text chat, and we'll watch for Jay Famous 13, and we'll read that real quick.
Right.
I'll
We'll do our
try.
best.
I'll try to do that because I literally have it pulled
Mhm.
way up.
No, I think you're right. We're gonna have more than one person.
You have yours on
doing
your
that.
phone, right?
Well, I've turned it down, but I can't see the chats going by. That's the problem.
I
you
can get it.
Wolfie
Chat.
says so many ape human sidekick combos. Mr. Teeny, Krusty the Clown, Amy, that guy from Congo, and Darrow Kong.
Yeah, but
I
Amy
mean-
was not a real gorilla.
And I don't see, is Ann Darrow the blonde girl from Kong? I don't see, is she the sidekick? Because King Kong is the titular character. I don't know Krusty the Clown and Mr. Teeny.
Krusty
What?
the Clown from The Simpsons.
Yeah,
I know, but I don't know who Mr. Teeny is.
Mr. Teeny.
Yeah, not familiar, but
I'm
I
thinking.
mean,
I'm trying to remember who that is for sure.
okay, so we did Tats and Toys says, what about T-Bob? We did talk about him.
Mhm.
He's a robot. He's not an animal. He's super annoying. So I'm glad I don't have to talk about him or think about him.
Well, I'll ask a question. Does anyone have any particular favorite episode of a cartoon that was specific about a sidekick?
You mean like where they did a spin-off where the sidekick was the central focus?
Yeah.
Let me see.
I have a modern one. I have a modern one where in Clone Wars there was a little 4 short episode of the droids where
Mhm.
R2 and a few of the droids went off and did their own thing. I enjoyed a few of those, and not the whole thing, but I thought it was great to see R2 get kind of the spotlight.
I just don't think that the sidekicks the ones that I liked never really got like a
got a
spotlight.
spotlight.
Robots might, but animals don't typically.
I guess the way I would answer your question is that Brain got a lot of time on Inspector Gadget because he was always helping Penny save Uncle Gadget from disaster.
And then Thundercat, I think he got more than one.
Oh, Snarf got a ton of screen time.
But then
Battlecat?
Battlecat got a couple too.
Yeah. As far as my memory goes, to answer your question, I feel like Snake Eyes and Timber in the G.I. Joe comic got a lot of good story time. Story time. And then Laserbeak, of course, was an active role in a lot of episodes of Transformers, but it was almost like part of the pattern of the show. It was like
they had to, so the Decepticons would know what the Autobots
right.
were doing.
Yeah, the Decepticons want Energon, so they send Laserbeak to spy on the Autobots to make sure that they know before the Autobots show up.
Never once did the Autobots notice Laserbeak was there.
Nope, never.
So,
okay, Mark C says, speaking of BSG and cardboard, do you remember the General Mills Battlestar Galactica cardboard clubhouse mail away for kids?
No,
Battlestar Galactica cardboard clubhouse mail away for kids.
Sounds cool.
It sounds neat, but I don't remember that product. I remember the Carson City or is it Dodge City for Lone Ranger that was mail away cardboard. I have it right there. I remember the Transformers cardboard play set that was sold by another company, but it wasn't mail away.
I remember the space shuttle mail away. You would get the plans on how to build a space shuttle with a robot arm and everything.
Right. Yep.
I was obsessed with that thing.
Laser Pants says, just got here and noticed a lack of Super Friends Gleek on that table. I don't think Kenner even made a Gleek toy.
They didn't.
No, for some reason I think there's a little rubber eraser Gleek.
But it's not part of the Superpowers line. No. Yeah, there's no Wonder Twins in Superpowers either.
Jesus says, hello, Michael, Melinda, and Tim. Just joined Livestream, but sorry, can't stick around. I'm at work. Michael, your thoughts on the Super 7 Thunder Tank?
I think $450 for a 6-inch scale Thunder Tank is a stupid ask on Super 7's part. Super 7 is even having problems getting Wave 2 of their figure line out while they announce other things. I'm a firm believer that until you have product on the shelves for the subsequent waves, I'm not going to start pre-ordering ahead of pre-orders. If my pre-order for the previous 2 things hasn't come out, I'm not about to plunk my money down on another pre-order. These companies love to do announcements without actually producing anything. I prefer to still buy from people who they announce something, it's out, it's available, it's in their store almost permanently, and then they announce the next thing while you're still able to buy that thing. That's me.
No, it makes sense.
You know,
it is kind of a high price.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Bjorn says Kirby is the animal sidekick of RetroBlasting.
True.
He is of Michael. Like, I don't know if you've ever seen any of the things. Have you ever posted any of those little bit? This cat is obsessed with Michael. I mean,
he does love him, like on a level that it's
like when we're done here and we go upstairs and relax, like Kirby makes a point to get into Michael's arms and like a baby and sit here and just stare at him and do everything he can just to just rub and I mean, it is the funniest thing you've ever seen.
It is true. He's
Fair,
like, oh my God,
fair.
I love you so much, bro. Love you.
It really is like
I really missed you, man.
I love you, bro. I love you.
Until you've all known the platonic love of an animal. I pity all of you.
MMORPG GR5 says Melinda works really hard and catches chats while the others goof off and Michael works on his amazing tauntaun puns. So that's true.
I've been trying to.
In all fairness, this whole platform thing was Melinda's idea. So
yeah, and we're just like I said, we're fumbling our way through this live stream. So next live stream, the super chat obligation will be given off to somebody else on the crew.
Plus, we only have one laptop.
They're
Right.
taking away my responsibilities now. That's a bad sign, you guys. I'm about to get demoted.
No, because you prepared all these wonderful slides, but when you switch
I haven't
over
even
to
shown all the slides.
I know when you switch over to the slides, you can't see the super chat, so that's a problem.
That's not true, but Kieran says Melinda would cope much better if Michael stopped interrupting her.
Oh my God.
Kieran said it, not me. So
Oh, I know.
Oh,
now you're on Michael's list.
Hey, no, that's fine. No. I'm an objective person. I'll take that under advisement. I guess I've been interrupting Melinda too much. So you know what I'm going to do? Hey, everybody. You guys got empty drinks here? No, you still got a drink. Oh, yours is
Hey,
empty.
will you get me a BC?
Hey, how about I just leave for a while? I'm just going to go.
Will you get me a BC?
That's cool.
Hey, you've only got like 5 minutes before we start opening
Oh, no.
packages.
This is my live stream. I can
No,
do
we're
whatever
gonna-
I want.
I think we've
Well, actually,
fairly well established it's my live stream.
So I need you back in at most 5 minutes. Will you grab me a Coke while you're up there?
That was
Michael?
a foul gesture, Michael. Beta Ray Bob says, Tim Ward, not sure where you are, but I'm in Alabama. I can't think of a time when moon pies have been rare or hard to find here. Granted, I'm more of a Reese's guy when it comes to sweets. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody up here, except with the exception of Michael, loves Reese's. Like,
Yeah.
loves Reese's.
Last night I ate like 2 packages of Reese's.
That's okay. Like, it's
Oh
an
my
addiction.
God, it's
Well,
just
do
I
you
couldn't
put
stop.
Have you ever put them in the freezer?
I don't like them cold.
Really?
I like
Oh,
them, I like
man.
them like
Like-
almost warm from the car.
But here's what's
like,
bad though. No, but here's what's bad is like I like them both ways. So I'll buy a pack of them
Mhm.
and I'll leave 2 out and put one in the freezer. Eat one at room temperature. Eat the frozen one and eat the other one that's at room temperature.
I mean, I can see that they'd be good. It's just I can't handle cold things on my teeth. So
yeah, well, it's hard. I mean, they're hard to eat that way, but man, they're so good.
So Scott says it's not from the 80s, but Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated did an episode where all the animals, Scooby, Funky, Phantom, Jabberjaw, etc., did a team up without the humans along. It was glorious.
Really, I'll have to check that out because
That's
I love
interesting.
Jabberjaw and Grape Ape.
Oh my God, I used to see Jabberjaw.
Jabberjaw!
Jabberjaw.
Jabberjaw! It was a great cartoon.
Yeah.
Like
well,
Captain Caveman. I mean, you got to love the fact that the short, hairy guy got the chicks. I mean, that was the best thing about Captain Caveman.
Thank you, dear. Wicked Person says Matthew Cable from 70s Swamp Thing
Thanks,
comics
Michael.
drove drunk and died. Then he became Dream of the Endless's 80s animal sidekick, a raven. That'll teach him.
Wow.
I think that's true.
It is actually.
I mean, so here's the thing. I know Matthew the Raven. I'm pretty sure that's right. But so that's one of those references that because I didn't read a lot of other comics, I didn't completely get that that's what that was. But that's interesting. I could tell it was like referencing something because Matthew, his Raven, is someone else. Like he used to be a human.
right.
But that's a really good one, actually, because Sandman did start in the 80s. So Matthew's a great animal sidekick who definitely moves the plot forward throughout the series and is like a major player, but definitely an animal. So cool.
See this?
Cool.
You see this? Just
Uh,
get the BC, bruh. LOL.
I haven't gotten there
You
yet.
know what? I'm not going to take any lip off somebody who calls themselves chicken fried steak. What are we talking about here?
I see that.
That was
Let's
a
put
great,
that on the
That's a
screen.
great comment.
That deserves being on the.
Oh my
screen.
God.
I got you, bro. I got you.
That's
All
pretty
right.
funny.
Midnight's Edge says, I want to be like Michael when I grow up.
You see? There's somebody in the chat is my friend. Oh,
We love you, Michael. We
Yeah,
really
yeah.
do. We
Yeah,
do.
yeah,
We
yeah.
really do.
I got to get in closer to the mic so that people can hear me go,
Would you like to try my microphone?
No,
You
it's
sure?
fine. No,
I
it's
mean,
fine.
it's a great microphone.
No,
I would
it's
buy you
good.
one if you like it.
No,
George-
I'm fine.
George
I'll get you a
says,
different color.
George says in Scotland we deep fry everything, including chocolate bars. I have heard that about you guys.
We're in the
you-
South. We usually deep fry
I mean, I
everything as
feel
well.
like if you ever, I don't know if you've ever been to the South part of the United States, but that's exactly how things are here.
we
that
fry
and if-
everything.
and here's the thing. If you come to the South in America and you go to a Renaissance festival, you can literally get everything deep fried and on a stick.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's
very
really
convenient.
it's
Very
it's
convenient.
great for walking around in the 110-degree heat with no trees in some sort of like weird costume, like that's trying to simulate Europe.
Sounds like Dragon Con.
Yeah. It is like Dragon Con, except a lot hotter and outside, but everyone is still just as smelly.
Oh, are we clearing the table? Okay. You read super chats while we clear the table. By the way, chicken fried steak, she still had a drink. That's why I didn't get her one.
Did he say something?
He was like, you didn't bring her a drink with her BC? I'm like, look, man, she's got over half of a drink left.
I've been
tested it.
reading so many things, I haven't had a chance to, you know.
Okay.
I'm just gonna move to the carrier for now.
Or you can just put them right in the case in any order. I don't care.
Mark C says, nope, someone just spent that fact-filled spending of money to mess with Melinda. I feel like I missed something there, but A World Made of Cardboard says, for Tim's magnificent laugh.
He does have a magnificent laugh.
You got us $5, man.
Thank you.
Wicked Person says, now, why didn't 6 Feet Under or Dexter prominently feature animal sidekicks? Stabby the ferret or Formaldehyde the mynah bird? Anyone? It's a good question. I feel like I'd be afraid if I saw an animal on any of those shows because I feel like something bad would happen, and then it would be Game of Thrones all over again. So let's see. Jason says the South would deep fry Coke if they could. They absolutely would. Earlier, Tim and I were making a joke about a Coke river and how awesome that would be. Like just living, in a house right next to the river of Coke. Impossible Pie says, Melinda, any animal sidekicks in Degrassi? Not that I can recall, not in the early, like Degrassi Junior High. There may have been some in like the next generation. I call it next gen of Degrassi. But yeah. Wow, I'm actually caught up. I can't believe it. Did I miss some?
This is what happens when we don't have air in there.
It's true. Tim Ward says that Peter Vinkman says that I missed his super chat. Sheena, Tanya Roberts had many animal sidekicks. I'm surprised Michael's not jumping on that.
I'm on my way.
He's on his way. I don't really remember the movie Sheena, so
It's a great movie.
Okay, so
I'm just saying I don't remember it.
Yes, in Sheena, Tanya Roberts had a number of animal sidekicks throughout the film, elephants and various apes and monkeys, and I want to say she had a tiger as well at one point, and maybe it was a cheetah or a leopard. I can't remember, but yeah, she was like Tarzan. She had the whole jungle menagerie to assist her.
All right, so someone asked about some more slides, seeing more slides. So I will show this slide. This is my 2 dragons. There's actually a 3rd dragon that I showed in a different slide, and that's Spike from My Little Pony. Does anyone know of any other dragon sidekicks? This is, of course, Warlock from Black Star and Falcor from The Neverending Story. It's not on screen right now, Tim. I've got a slide up.
Oh, that's over there.
Here, hand him here, and I'll stick him on the thing. Or did you just want to like get in the camera?
I was just singing Bionic 6 and holding up our Bionic 6 character.
Okay, so let me go back to our. Eric says, "What about Granomir?" Yeah, that's a good point. Granomir. I mean, he's sort of more of a guest star than a full-on sidekick, but still a fun character who's real sassy and kind of rude. Wolfie says Pete's Dragon. That's a good one.
Well, that's only half a Cylon in the...
Michael Hinkson says, make my river full of Cherry Coke Zero. Ah, Cherry Coke Zero is on point. That's a great beverage right there. Master Son, Melinda, in my mind, Michael will always be your sidekick, LOL.
Lemons?
You're not wrong.
I'm just gonna let that wash over everyone. Wicked Person says, speaking of animal characters, I loved Lady Hawk. That's actually a really good one because it's
But they weren't sidekicks though, were they?
It's a weird sort of special circumstance, I feel like,
that's a weird one. Because I mean, I guess the movie is around the Roderick or whatever character, right?
Yeah, so Robert Daniel says Kodo and Poto from Beastmaster. So to your point, here's my slide of other animals that don't fit into any kind of other categories. So we have the ferrets that you just mentioned from Beastmaster. We have Ben from his name just went out of my head. Big wilderness guy. You guys know who I'm talking
Gentle
about.
Ben.
Nope.
It's not Gentle Ben?
It's that guy.
Oh, that's Grizzly Adams.
Thank you. I never watched that because I figured there was like.
That was Gentle Ben, wasn't it?
I don't
the
know.
name of the bear.
But that wasn't the name of the show.
No.
And then Dot and the Kangaroo, of course. Kangaroo was not necessarily a sidekick, but kind of almost like a sidekick. She's kind of also a main character. But interesting to see nonetheless. So Zantara says Mushu from Mulan.
Which is a 90s thing.
Right.
Um,
Haven't seen that movie, so I can't comment on that.
That's the dragon.
yes.
Oh,
Eddie Murphy.
Was
Yes.
he a drag? Oh.
Yeah.
So unaware of it. So unaware of it.
Wow, what is this?
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Holy crap. This is like pro.
So should I wait? I guess
Whoa.
I'll wait to read this super chat.
Read the super chat. Go ahead.
Gunstar1 says, my first super chat. Mad Max's healer is by far my favorite animal sidekick. Perfect apocalypse pet. Great stream as usual, guys.
Thank you.
Says, Dear RetroBlasting, I'm not a toy collector, but I appreciate your videos on the classic 80s toys and their respective cartoons. Because of my lack of knowledge, I won't even try to send vintage toys, especially since I don't have any and wouldn't even know where to begin to look for some. I have commissioned Brian Shearer to create this artwork for you. Mr. Shearer is a comic book artist who has worked on titles like G.I. Joe and Transformers. I'm a big fan of his work. Hope you enjoy it. Thank you for all the entertainment you have provided. Al, possibly A-L, all caps.
Yes.
Sleeping Pikachu Avatar. This drawing is incredible.
That is amazing.
It's
Well,
I
she
like
can
to-
show it over
I
there.
can put it
Okay.
over. So,
if it's not gonna here, hand me Snarf.
I'm going
Yeah.
to. You just gotta
Don't have that
Oh,
travesty
yeah.
in there.
We're gonna show you this real quick. Yeah, look at that.
That is amazing. She looks really good. Scarlet looks real good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be framing that immediately to put probably. Well, I'm gonna put it in the GI Joe room.
And I like how they got
It's really
Snake
great.
Eyes Uzi gun.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, his Uzi.
pistol.
Yeah, he's not holding just like a katana blade or
Right.
something. He's actually holding his real stuff. Dude, thank you so much, Al. That
Very
is a
cool.
gorgeous piece of artwork. I will be hanging that up and framing it here in the studio.
I like to pretend that that's supposed to be me. And that
that
can
would
be Michael.
a good Dragon Con costume.
We were gonna do that one year. We were actually gonna do Scarlet and Snake
That
Eyes,
would
and
be
then
cool.
it never materialized for reasons that I can't recall.
I can recall them.
What were they?
It was very so. I really wanted to.
It was
do
a dark
this.
time in
I wanted to
RetroBlasting.
do this costume of hers, right? And I wanted to find non shiny spandex material. I wanted to find something that actually looked like military grade like material
like BDUs.
or something,
Yeah.
but it would still have to be form fitting, but like it, especially for the bodysuit part, the khaki part. And I just never could find, like, it would have to be sewn like custom. I've never seen anybody who does.
Timothy Ward said she wanted Michael to be silent during their time at Dragon Con.
That was just a side fringe benefit of
All right, so let's see what we have here. This looks like it came from across the pond. Larry King.
A World Made of Cardboard says at the Texas State Fair they fried Coke and Kool-Aid. Did they really?
How do you do that? That sounds really intriguing.
That feels like that requires something called crystals, and I just don't want to know. Just don't want to know.
Well, I guess you
Sunny-
could freeze it, then flash fry it.
Sunny says, does 30-30 qualify as a sidekick? I think so. We sort of talked about him earlier. He's kind of annoying, but again, I feel like you said Lio Convoy was going to get mad at me for saying that. So,
Lio Convoy's like me. He can take a difference of opinion. He's not really going to get mad.
well, I didn't think he was really going to get mad at me. So Jay Famous says, hey, thanks for being cool about the chat. Hang on to the extra one. Consider it a tip. As for Ponda Baba and Tessic, they had those official names as far back as 1987.
Oh, really?
Well, that's interesting.
Well, see, what's funny is 1987 would have been the West End Games role-playing game, and if I didn't get the correct source books, then I never would have read that. Like if I didn't have certain source books. So yeah, no, that's totally valid. When you grow up in the Kenner generation of Star Wars from the late 70s through the early 80s, and you're actively playing with those toys, it's hard to get those names out of your mind. So, like, for example, Forlom and Zuckus got switched. But to me, anytime someone says Forlom or Forlom or however people are pronouncing it these days, I still think of the dude in the tan coat with the bug eyes who's not the droid, even though he's supposed to be the droid. And when you tell me Zuckus, I still think of the protocol droid with the bug head. So, and I know that's wrong even back then, but if you played with those toys at the right age at the right time, it sticks with you. Henceforth, hashtag Squidhead. That's what I'm saying.
AL or Al, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, who sent us this lovely artwork, which I will show again. He says, check out Brian Shearer. He's on YouTube. Great artist.
Yeah.
Feel free to share the link to his page in the chat if you'd like, Al. It's wonderful artwork. So thank you very much. It's very, very kind of you.
I cannot wait to frame this, and I'll post this to the Instagram when I get it framed. What I'll probably end up doing is I've been looking for a piece of artwork to put over the flag underneath Storm Shadow and Snake Eyes cross swords. That will go there. This will get framed up and
Perfect size.
Yeah, under the swords over the flag.
Ratnick says, look at how long it takes Michael to open that package. Reminds me of a person who reuses wrapping paper unwrapping a gift.
You don't know what's inside each box.
Yeah.
See, we just got a play set in the mail a few days ago, and even though we were careful opening it, clearly the last person to own it wasn't, and they had actually razor cut it. This
and it's a Mego place.
Yeah, and it's just like,
and you can see just a perfect little sheet right down the side through the plastic and the cardboard.
And the cardboard.
So AL has stated she is a female, just FYI.
Oh, apologies.
We weren't sure if it was Al, like
right. We weren't sure if it was Al or AL. So AL, thank you so much for this.
It's her initials. So
okay,
I'm still going to call you Al.
You can call me Al.
Or you can call.
Love that video.
A+ lady. All right. So Michael, please find enclosed the. Oh my gosh.
Here's the link, by the way, to anyone who's interested. Brian Shearer art.bigcartel.com for the art.
Oh, wow. That is kind of cool.
Yeah, Melinda, you're going to want to see this.
Yeah, this is all you.
Please. I'm not even going to reveal what it says here yet. It's from Carl.
Carl.
These are the vintage Rocky 3 figures. So
I love that face.
So look, this is Thunder Lips. Looks like.
That was such a funny opening for that movie, too.
There's Thunder Lips.
Oh, my God. Wow, it looks just like him.
I know, right? Oh, and, there he is. He's got his gold shorts on and ready for the fight,
You want to ring the bell?
Ding, ding.
Ding, ding.
I love Rocky 3. It's my favorite Rocky.
Oh, that's awesome.
I mean, look at him. And
he's like a He-Man figure almost.
He's got his shorts and they say Rocky on them because
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I mean, look, he's gonna win. He's gonna win the fight.
Oh man,
I do like that figure. Looks like a very playable figure.
And then we have here. Oh,
is it? Who is it? I can't see.
I can't see either. It's either Apollo or it's Clubber Lang.
Apollo's the one I want to see. This is Apollo.
To quote Asteroids Galaxy Tour, Apollo. It's a singing group. Anyway,
Impossible Pie wants to know who made those Rocky figures.
It says here they were made by. It's hard to read that. What does it say? He has beautiful penmanship, but I can't make out the name of the company.
I mean, he looks
just
good. Like him.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I have no idea. Does it say on the bottom of his foot?
Oh, I think one of his boxing gloves is missing. We'll have to find it.
Fell off.
Yeah.
Apparently he got real
the belt.
He got real rough with Rocky at a certain point.
I bet you could find some of those though.
Let me
have you already cut to that once before, or
you've got some rippage here on the
There's 2 Apollos. No, that's Mr. T.
This
Sorry.
is Mr. T. So here's the belt. This is the championship belt. Looks like it used to have a clip on the back, but that's gone the way of the dodo because it's that gold plastic and it's been glued back together. So be careful with it.
Okay,
Okay.
Melinda, I love what you're doing with that. That is really cool.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool.
Look at that.
Pity the fool.
I pity the fool. My shorts are falling off.
Not as close as the other ones
Yeah,
are, but still pretty
good. Oh man, his shorts. The elastic in his shorts has failed.
good.
So,
as a fellow man, I can say that we've all had those problems after
Wow,
certain
that's
laundry days.
It's a whole lot to.
but he says here in the letter, Carl says, he says the toys Rocky 3 action figure collection, and as I said before, I've commented enough times about their absence from the collection, so I thought I'd put my money where my mouth is and donate them to the archive. Dude, Carl, that's very kind of you. We love Rocky 3 here, and we love Stallone, so I will do my utmost to, determine what these action figures need, how we can spruce them up a little bit, and get them, looking spick and span. They look great already, so there's not much left to do, but I'll do my research. You'll see that Thunderlips, Rocky, and Lang are in decent condition. Creed does need a little work, gloves and shorts, but he's ready for action. Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Midnight's Edge says, I didn't know they did a line of toys at the time the movie came out. Wow.
I didn't
He
either.
says-
I literally had no idea
I
that these
didn't either.
toys existed.
He says, these are spares from my collection, so it's my pleasure to donate them to the archive. Finally, thank you so much for all the great work content you guys produce. Please keep it up. You guys are absolute legends. All the best, Carl. Carl, thank you a million times.
Are these customs? Because
No, they're not customs.
No,
These
they
are
were
vintage
vintage.
original toys that were
Okay.
sold for Rocky 3.
Dustin Miller says Remco made them.
Okay, then this must say Remco, and it's
I don't think it says Remco. So
we'll look them up.
Coleco? Does that say
No,
Coleco?
it doesn't say Coleco.
It starts with something that looks like a P.
Yep.
Wicked Person says, ha, in real life, Rocky is almost a foot shorter than Thunderlips. That's
Well,
true.
I mean,
Well, I mean, he's...
I mean,
Looks a little-
when you're doing action figures, you got a budget and you got to make them all the same size so you can get them all in the same tooling. Because
James says they're made by Phoenix Toys.
Phoenix Toys.
Okay.
All right. Oh, this is.
You know what this is?
Yeah, this is. Remember last week, guys, when I got those Street Fighter figures and one was supposed to be Blanca?
Oh, did you take the dive and?
He did refund me for the other figure after we went back and forth, and so what I'm going to do on top of that is send him back the redundant Bison figure, not because he asked me to, but because even though we thought about it, he said just keep it. I'm like, no, I'm going to show him that I'm sending back what I don't need. So he's going to get that back because he refunded the money. He just doesn't know it yet,
Right.
unless he's now watching these live streams, in which case you're getting it back. So he did send me Blanca and everything like that. So this should be Blanca, unless no.
Well, it just sounds like he was selling something he didn't even know what he had.
Yeah,
So-
I don't think he wasn't using his Etsy store correctly, and so he was posting the wrong photos to the wrong items. Okay.
Is this... No, never
You're
mind.
gonna have to
Sorry, I
go.
thought this was going to be something else.
What you're
I'm just
aware of
I'm just
something?
gonna go back to these for a minute because they're so awesome.
Okay.
While you're opening.
Oh, I love that setup to where you can see them rotating. That is incredibly cool.
And guys, I am gonna invest in a new camera so that when I do these close-ups, it looks a little nicer. And I actually have a light box set up too. So
Oh, he looks great.
Yep. So
Um,
this is the.
hang on a second.
I
Hang
can't
on a
see it.
second. I gotta go back to the thing.
I wouldn't even worry about holding it up.
Yeah, there's
so-
no. This is the Blanca, from Street Fighter 2 that I was waiting on.
This actually says, please open on the live stream and read the letter first.
It's looking a little grainy.
It is looking grainy. I don't know what happened.
What? The live stream?
Clear
Oh,
up.
it cleared up. Okay.
I think it just kind of goes like that.
All right.
Tim Ward says, any excuse to show Sly. You're right. Wicked Person says Stallone and T are 5'8". Hogan is, I think, 5'7".
6'7".
Or sorry, 6'7". Obviously, that's 6'7". Not. Prime Syndicate says Clubber is sagging like a pro. He is sagging, and it's
Yeah.
it's a little unfortunate in this case.
We'll figure out how to fix that.
Analog Toy says, "Smash that like button, folks."
Thank you.
Thank you for saying that. I'm gonna
All right, so this is from Analog Toys, and he says, "Read this first." I'm gonna put my microphone here so everybody can hear me today. Larry King. Dear RetroBlasting, this is a mystery box with a difference. I thought it would be fun to fun change of pace to send you a retro toy item that isn't actually for you, but is instead being gifted to a longtime supporter of both of our channels. Please unwrap this toy, showcase it on the RetroBlasting live stream, and then, when you have the time, please forward it to its rightful owner. Regards, Analog Toys. P.S. The intended recipient's name is attached to the front of the toy. Come with me, toy fans. All right, so that's my homage to Tony because I love him.
Midnight's Edge says, "Oh, it's a mystery box. Look out for J.J. Abrams."
Oh no. No, this is from Tony. He actually has taste.
That's right.
So...
True story, bro.
All right, here we go. There's some bubble wrap, which we need to save because this is going to be going on to another person. I'll put that here.
Duly noted for cleanup time.
All right, taking this out. I'm going to put this here. We're going to take this off the table and then keep it moving. So we're going to keep that box because we're going to
just packing back.
Yeah.
I guess I need to do a Photo Practica says, "What is the RetroBlasting PO box?" And I guess I need to make a little banner that can pop up during this section that gives our PO box each time. So
that's a great idea.
But for this moment, Michael, can you tell them the PO box?
Yes, the PO box is RetroBlasting, PO Box 2385, Woodstock, Georgia 30188. That's RetroBlasting, PO Box 2385, Woodstock, Georgia 30188.
I feel like we should be ordering Time Life books.
I was
right
fixing
now.
to say, did somebody just order a Civil War playset or chess set or whatever it was back in the 80s?
Please, no CODs.
And yes, Map Film Productions. Tony is from the UK, not Australian, but I think Michael was just having fun.
But no, I wasn't doing Australia. I was doing Tony. If I'd done Australia, there'd be some inflection in the accent, which wasn't there. And I didn't do that because I was doing Tony. Right. Yeah. All right. So got to wake up pretty early in the morning to get past me.
Yeah. Fade to black. No CODs.
Okay. Oh
my, look at that.
Please forward this mint on card Australian only release 1989 Batman action figure to our friend Keith Holmesley. So this is a Australia only.
I'll personally take care of this one and make sure it gets there.
Yeah.
Do you want me to show that on the...
Yeah, but first I have to get this piece off of it. Oh, I don't want to damage it. I don't want to damage it.
Wicked Person
That
says,
is
I bet Michael could work up a killer Larry
crazy.
King impression.
I will work on that and do that. I don't know what kind of demand that has though.
I
The
mean,
card back for this is super cool.
Mm-hmm. God, I feel like I'm diffusing a...
you know, Woodstock is a good animal sidekick. That's a good point, guys. He's a sidekick to another sidekick.
This is going on to Keith Holmesley this coming week. And this is a Australia only.
Jason says sweats and Keith Holmesley.
Yeah. Yeah, there's just a little bit of tape residue on the bubble here that was from Tony's note, which I'll clean off before I send it on
What
ahead.
is the tag on there for? Kids Biz?
Kids Biz.
Huh.
I'll have to scooch this
Mhm.
over just a little bit. So,
That is really cool. Like I said, the card back is awesome.
Keith says, "Oh my God, Tony, I'm humbled." So,
like
very
I
cool.
said, Keith, don't worry. I'll make sure you get it.
It's gorgeous. It's really gorgeous.
Tio Mega Man X says, outside of your field but fashion dolls, why doesn't Mattel and others just release standalone MTM bodies already? We want articulation. Yes, we pose too.
I don't know why they're not doing that. I'm sure it's some sort of proprietary design thing where they don't want to pay. Maybe they'd have to pay royalties to something, or maybe they just have a cost-cutting thing they're doing. I'm speculating. I'm not really sure, but it's always, when it comes to these big companies and their decision-making, always follow the money. The money will always lead you to the answer.
Let's see.
This
Wolfie says that is weird. Need to look that up. I had no idea they made any Batmans outside the regular Toy Biz version. So,
all right. This is from our good friend Bill, who's been a friend and supporter of the channel for a long time, and this is a hefty box. Oh, and I opened it on the right side. Here's a note. Hello, RetroBlasting, Michael and crew. I have included some figures to help you with your collection. A knockoff figure and hopefully a guest for Orange Chairs with Zodak, and a book for reference. Oh, Tim, you've got some gifts in here.
Me?
Yeah, you've got something pretty awesome in here. I'm not going to tell you what it is.
Oh, really? Who's this from?
It's from Bill Whitehead.
Well, thank you, Bill.
Longtime fan of the channel, and he's been a friend of mine for years online. We've actually spoken via video chat before.
Oh, excellent.
Really nice guy. There are 2 things in here from Melinda as well.
Sweet.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to I don't want to say anything until I pull all this stuff out. So
me and Michael have pretty much the same taste. So
yeah.
I trust
Wicked Person says, probably more useful to develop a new from K-Tel guy voice.
Oh no. Say what?
Michael, probably more useful to develop a new from K-Tel guy voice, available on 8-track and LP.
Yeah. All things, what was it? Hits of the 80s, or
is this it?
That would definitely be for you, the Clone Wars book for sure.
That is awesome.
What is that?
This is a figure case.
Oh.
It says the big Star Wars book and figure case is for Tim. Let's see. Oh, this is for you because look what it says on the bottom.
That's great. Okay. So, well, we got to zoom in on
look
that
at that.
somehow.
1987, that would have been the time that the Bionic 6 figures were out. So this generic figure case.
It says great for G.I. Joe, Bionic 6, and other combat figures and accessories.
Uh-huh.
That
Nice.
is awesome.
And it's got this vacuum-formed, very fragile front on it. So I'm surprised it survived as well as it has.
No kidding.
So inside,
what in the world? Is
Oh my god.
Okay, no, that's
okay. All right,
that's really cool.
All right. So inside,
evil.
We've got Mark Wahlberg, bro, from Planet of the Apes, and he's in his outfit. He's got his helmet.
That's amazing. So I gotta open this up.
You want to put this on the camera? Now I have to. Is Bill on? Because there's a picture. In here.
I don't know. I want to say Tony says Tim is off screen stealing the Batman. I guess that's what he was saying while you were off screen.
So Bill, if you're on, again, thank you immensely. The book you sent me has a picture in it. I don't want to say much about it. It's not a dirty picture or anything, but I didn't know if you meant to send that or not. If we should send that back.
It's a picture of a motorcycle.
Yes.
Let's see if it says anything in here.
And there's another one right
here.
here.
Oh no, it says in here. It says inside the big Star Wars book are 2 photos of my race bike with your logo on it.
What? Yep, there it is.
He's got RetroBlasting on his racing bike.
Okay, that's just cool.
That's
awesome. Is awesome.
That is awesome, dude. I'm honored. Look, he's got our logo on his racing bike.
Holy crap.
Which I love the rims, by the way. I will have to say I love. Okay, you're gonna have to get this on camera somehow.
Yeah. First, you got to get done with him.
You gotta get Mark.
He's on the Lazy Susan. He's got some good vibrations.
On the Lazy Susan.
All right, so we have. He says vintage toys and motorcycles are my life. Thank you for all you and the team do for the 80s. Your
He's
friend...
got those are. Is that two different? Well, no, he's just got different tires on it. Okay.
Mhm. Now this says Anthony. The box said Bill, so I don't know which name you go by, or if I'm actually talking to two different
They
people.
want to see the picture. So.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah. Hang on.
So the picture is in here.
There's two of them in the book. One in the middle, and one in the front.
Yep.
The one in the front's where you can really see the logo, which very cool.
So if you can see, it's hard to see, but
I don't exactly have a zoom on this.
Yeah.
In this situation.
yeah.
But
We'll
hang
have
on-
to
hang
scan
on.
that
Give-
and get
give
it on
me-
the
Give me a
website.
second, guys. I can try to make it a little bit better for you. Hang on. I'm working on it. So if you can see, it's down towards the bottom of the bike. I know this camera's not great. I'm going to upgrade the camera and get a DSLR.
You want
To
to
be a
point to it on the
webcam.
picture so they see where you're pointing? Yeah, it's like right there. Yeah,
It's right there.
that's very cool.
All right. So next up we have.
I have to say, if you race motorcycles, that makes you way cooler than me. So thank
I
you,
think
but
that makes
still,
you way cooler than any of us.
I'm just saying. It's like,
I mean, that's
Vintage
That's
Evil Knievel action figure from. I think this is one of the bike race. He's
do
very
you think it's flammable?
right.
Can you set that over there?
Here's
I
a
have no
here's
room.
a vintage Evil Knievel figure that he sent.
Okay.
Squeaky.
We got to get some better chairs.
Yeah.
That'll be
Sorry.
the next thing. Is
That's
chairs.
my leather
No, but
belt
the
on
next
the
thing
chair.
is going to be
The camera.
Okay, this guy does not stand up, so I'm just going to have to.
Well,
hold
it's
him
evil.
up.
Oh my gosh, I have not seen one of those
Mhm.
since the 80s.
Yeah. So he also sent along Savitar,
Yes.
the ninja from Eagle Force.
Oh, that's
um,
cool.
Which is hard to see.
Yeah, that'll have to go on the Lazy Susan. over
Yeah.
there.
He won't stand up very well. He's metal, but
Those were some cool little figures, though. I remember that line
Oh,
really
wow,
well.
this is cool.
Yeah, that was a very cool line of toys, and
so yeah. So that's
until today I had not thought about those. I mean, in a long time. They were really cool, though.
Then we have for Melinda a vintage 1982 pet jelly bear from Strawberry Shortcake. Butter Cookie Bear is
Well, I wonder if it
specifically.
still has the scent. What do you think?
Oh, this came with nope.
No.
I can't remember which each one of the dolls came with as a little animal sidekick, so it's very on topic.
It is
today.
very much on topic.
Oh no, this is interesting. He says this is a knockoff Centurions Max Ray from China.
Yeah, I was gonna say the scale is all weird.
Yeah, it's an actual jointed action figure in a totally different scale with a metal torso.
Really? Oh yeah, it is, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
See, this actually would have been way cooler than the ones that we got.
Yeah.
So again, who's the little blue colored figure?
That's
Can-
Savitar, the ninja from Eagle Force by
Yeah,
Mego,
Eagle.
1981.
Yeah, Eagle Force. They had a whole set of little metal soldier. I mean, they were just really cool toys. I had a lot of those. I actually would play with outside. Those were great outside toys.
So this is the China bootleg Centurions figure of Max Ray. You know what he says this is?
I'm scared.
Okay,
Tony.
Hot Wing.
Oh my gosh.
He's a little worse for wear.
He is, but still, the fact that it's Hot Wing.
It's it's
Period.
he's got a little bit of a
Wow,
an arm issue.
This is the reason why Tim has an issue.
I know,
So,
I know.
You couldn't play with them.
You couldn't. They were very fragile, but we don't have Hot Wing in the
No, I know.
in the
I
studio.
know. She can set him over there.
He's Hot Wing. That's an authentic Hot Wing from Silverhawks. He sent us the Mego Action Figure Toys with Values book by John Bonavita.
Wait a minute. Who's
Mhm.
that on the cover?
He's just rocking and rolling over
That's
there.
Conan.
That's Conan.
That's Conan, the comic book Conan that was popular in the 70s.
Tony says, "Can
Really?
Evel Knievel jump the USS flag?"
Which way? Length or depth?
I mean, I could probably chuck him across it.
Wow, that's mean.
What? He could shoot himself out of
Look
cannon.
at that.
Yeah. And then he sent, I haven't
That's pretty
seen
cool.
this since I was a child. I had it as a child. and then the book and everything disappeared.
Oh, he sent several of those.
Yeah, he sent
Wow.
an original record read-along book for Star Wars Planet of the Hoojibs. He sent the read-along record book for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
I had this one. I may still have this one at home, actually. Pom, 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 pom.
Well, it's okay. Savitar can't get nose rub. He's wearing a mask.
Yeah.
Here's the one for Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, there were 4 of those, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
And
this one is the one for one of the ones for Gremlins called Gizmo and the Gremlins.
yeah, and
I had
all,
one of
I
those.
had
I don't
all
know.
of those.
This
if
is
I'm not
story
mistaken.
number 2.
Yeah,
And there were 5.
5.
And they're
of
all
them,
listed
okay.
on the
I
back.
feel like I don't think that's the one I have, but I did have one of these.
And then he sent the very first issue of the Inhumanoids
That's
comic
going
book
to be
series.
a pretty high graded one too. I
Yeah.
mean, you got a little fade there, but
Yeah.
other than that, it's actually really good condition.
Yeah. Star Comics Inhumanoids, issue number 1. Dude, Anthony, thank you so much, man.
I'm no kidding. I mean, that's crazy.
And this vintage
Bye, thing.
Melinda, we need to hang on. We need to go help her.
No,
She's
it's
like,
fine. I'm struggling, but
Well, I was
you know
going to
what?
say we've got her handling everything over there by
Well,
herself.
Just keep handing me stuff. I don't have anywhere to put it, but you know what? It's
It's
fine.
fine.
I'm gonna figure it out over here. I can't wait for the after show. Okay, so now I'm going to check and see if there are any slides that I have yet to show.
Well, I have 2 more packages to open.
Yes.
Okay, but while you're doing that, I don't think I actually showed this slide, which was my we don't know what these things are, but it's a animal sidekick, but it's
Yeah, that's the one Michael was talking about.
so we got my favorite Kuma,
Yeah.
we got Godzuki, Fizzgig, we got the Punky Brewster's, it starts with a G, his name. I can't recall off the top of my head what it is.
Yeah, wasn't he like a magical creature or something?
It was like Glomer was his name. He was like a leprechaun-y
Yeah,
kind
he came
of
from the rainbow and he
yeah,
didn't get back
which is
in
weird because she had a
time and-
dog in the show.
Oh, that's right.
But
You're
then
right. I
they
forgot about
chose to have her this magical animal. Of course, he's almost Snarf-like.
that.
If
It
you
was
look.
the 80s. There were still people
And then
doing a lot of
what's this dude's name that's in
Ludo.
yeah.
That is Ludo from Labyrinth.
yeah.
When I see
so-
Godzuki, I can hear that theme song in my head. Godzilla and Godzuki.
And everybody hates us right now. Oh, where did that that artwork fell?
No, it
Oh,
didn't.
it's in
No,
a-
it didn't.
it's in a
I
hard
set
case.
it. I set it down very gently
And Michael panics.
and protected it. It is setting.
And
It
rightly
is
so.
sitting right here next to me. It did not fall.
So
Do
this
not
is
panic.
this is from Ramesses. I assume Ramesses, not the pharaoh, but just someone with a really cool name.
I was fixing to say that is a very
Yeah.
cool name either way.
It is a cool name.
Oh, here's the note. Here's the
What
note.
is
Here's
that?
the note.
Is that what I think it is?
Says
Zantara says the strawberry shortcake bear you got is Jelly Bear who came with butter cookie. Thank you. Yes, I did have him as a kid. So
hope all, oh Melinda, this one's for you. Hope all is well with everyone. I wanted to show my appreciation for the great content and hard work put into the channel. I've enclosed a sample of Mexican treats. Some
Oh.
more traditional than others. Would love to see you all try some either on the live stream or after show. Enjoy and thank you all. Ramses, San Diego.
ooh, P.S. Can we read the P.S.? That's very exciting.
Some may be spicier than they look.
That's really
That's-
exciting.
Actually, that can be a lot of fun.
All right, so we have here.
Well, I can already tell you that right there
Mhm.
looks like fire.
Pop gummy bands.
Wow.
Oh my god.
What is that?
You guys. Okay, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you.
Cucharindo tamarind flavor
Tamarind?
candy. It comes pre-put on plastic spoons, which means that's got to be some
Mm.
intense
Woo!
stuff.
Can we check this out real quick?
I want you to eat one.
Almost spilled that. Hey,
This is why we need air in here.
I do need Aaron here to like. I might save some of this
Milk
for like.
caramel candy wafer from El Super Leon, which is Super Lion,
The Super.
the Super Lion. Ooh, this
Man.
really is a caramel candy wafer. What is that? Oh, coconut candy.
Mmm.
De La Rosa.
De La Rosa giant marzipan.
Oh, it's a marzipan.
Peanut butter
it marzipan?
candy
Yeah.
marzipan style. And
You
then
can
we
feel the
have
softness of it. Yeah.
Ricolino mini paleta payaso.
Timothy Ward says, "I'm getting heartburn just looking at that candy."
There, like the hot gummy bands.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that just looks like it's gonna hurt.
Here's
That's all I'm gonna
more
say.
marzipan.
Marzipan.
It says marzipan. There's no R in that. I'm reading it the way it's spelled.
Marzipan.
And then this is burrito de mango. Mango
there's still-
candy.
It's a mango burrito, you guys.
This is a Carlos 5 from Nestle. How come we don't have candy bars that look like Cool Kings that
I don't
Carlos
know.
the 5th? This is a Carlos the 5th candy.
Nestle bar.
I want a Richard the 1st. I want a Richard the Lionheart like caramel
Look at this.
mallet.
Look at this.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
Look,
And
feel the weight.
It's Little Debbie's from Mexico, except they've got a duck mascot.
But mention how heavy that thing is.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that is some dense cake.
This is
right
how much
there.
you're gonna gain.
I'm
when
like,
you-
I'm like
when you
that
eat
is some
this.
dense little.
Can
cake.
I just say 2 pieces of this are 410 calories? Wow.
All right, Michael. I know
Let's
you
send
know
them
what
to
this is, but
Scotland and we can deep fry it.
we can. That's a great idea.
Okay, what were you
Man.
saying?
I'm actually. I know you know what this is, but I'm really excited about it.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to stand while you.
Okay, guys, if any of you have ever eaten any of these candies, which one is your favorite? Ramses, if you're on, then let us know. Kevin says, I grew up on this candy, love it. What's your favorite? I'm always down for candy. Okay, so this is not a donation, right?
No, it's
No.
not.
This is have you already told people what it is?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
But I'm
So
excited.
it's a special event that we, we're already well over time.
I know that, but you know what?
Yeah.
Is everyone sticking with us?
Let's see. I haven't even looked at how many people. We got 568 folks here.
Okay. Well packed, just like I like to see.
I have the power.
That is a big box.
It
Is that the barge?
No, don't get me in trouble again.
Did you?
That's great. Wow, that thing is.
The
like-
coconut candy is the best, and then anything tamarindo.
Why
Oh,
don't you
Prime
just-
Syndicate says it's another barge, so it's not just me.
No, this box is too small.
Yeah, it is much smaller.
Really? It doesn't?
No, because I opened it from the wrong side.
Oh wow, you did, didn't you?
Oh, you did. Well, how are you supposed to know that?
You're not supposed to. There you go.
Zantara says this overtime is an outrage. You are entertaining me and preventing me from doing housework and exercising. You should be ashamed.
Well, the exercise I actually agree with.
Listen, I have to do all that stuff on Sundays because Saturday is just not an option. Roja Primero says, Melinda, I'm from Mexico. You are going to love the gansito. It's little goose. I thought it was something about
Wow,
goose.
that looks pretty
My
cool.
my vocabulary has faded, but I do know some Spanish, just enough to get me in trouble. So
You're almost there.
Salvador already knows what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, still.
Certificate.
Certificate. It's a transformer, Wilson says. It's the Sword of Omens.
Don't insult this. But no. Again. Oh.
Jason says,
No.
he who unpacks the sword from the bubble wrap shall be crowned king of shipping.
There you go.
Wolfie says, Excalibur.
It's probably taped.
Dustin says it's a Nimbus 2000.
Now, what this is the official recreation from 16 years ago now that's long been out of production. You can get cheap stainless steel knockoffs of it, but you can't get a functional version of it. This is the official replica of Orlando Bloom's sword from Kingdom of Heaven. And this one was factory sharpened. So this is even more rare than the standard one. So
Definitely needs a polish.
it needs a polish, yeah. But this is Orlando Bloom's sword that was carried by Liam Neeson first and foremost, and then by Bloom himself in Kingdom of Heaven.
Wilson says that hilt looks gorgeous.
Yeah, the hilt is really cool. It's made in exactly the same way. It's hard to see as the.
If you walk it over here, you could try showing it with this camera. But
remember, it's sharp, so just be careful. It's not a dull blade. You have to back that off a little bit because you're in the dark.
Hang on, I'll turn this.
yeah,
And
you
this
gotta
one,
turn the lamp toward it
Yeah, and this one actually came with
and block our faces because
Yeah,
if
you have to put your hand behind it.
Yeah, just come and like stand in front of.
There it goes. There it goes.
Nah, it's still got my face in the camera, so you're gonna have to like walk around and stand like
Right behind it.
yes to block me and Michael from.
Is that better?
Yes.
Yep. Yep. If you turn it the other way.
And if you turn the screen toward you, you'll be able to see what.
Oh yeah, let me do that.
Yeah.
You might want to back off just a little so that people. Yeah,
Yep.
there you go.
It's really cool though.
So yeah, that is one that I wanted for my collection for a long time to go with my Ninjato. Those are my two favorite movie swords. So Kenny, don't take the sword and stick it up your nose. But this is an actual carbon steel, professionally sharpened version of and an exact replica. Windless Steelcrafts allegedly made the swords for the film.
Really?
They made the swords for the film, and so if you bought a sword from them during the film, during the time these swords were available, then you were getting an exact recreation of the sword from the movie.
Comic Book Guy says, "Can Melinda sing some King Diamond? I might save that for the after show."
Might be. Hold on.
Beta Ray Bob says, "Love that crystal cross."
Yeah, it's cool
Yep.
for sure. Well, all right.
All right, so we are now officially almost at the start time of our Patreon after show. So I'm just going to go ahead and tell y'all that after show is going to be just a smidge later because I got to go upstairs and feed our cats their belated lunch, and I'm sure they're like,
And I've drank a few sodas.
11
so
C's afternoon tea.
I
Where's
need a
our
little
lunch?
bit of a break myself.
So
hit the like button.
yeah, hit the like button. Join us on the after show.
Yeah, if you've not joined Patreon, join.
You can join for $1 and watch
spend $1 and you're gonna get 4 after shows a month. So
Sal says, "What's he crusading in there?"
What's he doing in
Wicked
there?
Person says, "Coin pommel on that sword helps with keeping your edge aligned in a cut. You can feel when it's straight."
Oh, nice.
It's very well balanced. I
Yeah.
can tell holding on
It's
to it.
got good
so.
spring steel
Yep.
too. It's the only disadvantage to a pommel style like that is that it's not traditionally peened. It's a threaded pommel, which some purists are like, no, never. But I wanted a functional replica of the sword from the movie,
Right.
and because as they said in the movie, it's a kingdom of conscience.
Well, zombie apocalypse coming. It's always good to have functional weapons to cut heads off.
Yeah, but I thought it was a perfect symbol for RetroBlasting because we're a YouTube channel of conscience. So
Prime Syndicate says, "Cats get lunch." Yes, our cats get fed mealtime. They don't get free feeding anymore because Kirby has some
And they have
medical-
one cat that gets especially grumpy if he doesn't eat when he needs to eat.
Yeah, well, yes. So there is that. So Kirby has some medical issues that we have to
Tend to.
tend to. So he has to get not only does he have to get fed 3 times a day, but he also has to get subcutaneous fluid injections every like 3 times a week. So it's super fun.
Well, guys, thanks for sticking with us throughout this rather long live stream.
Yeah,
Again,
thank you for all the stuff.
Yeah, we're
I
gonna
mean,
perfect the format with this new overlay for next time. We've learned a lot on this particular one. For those of you on Patreon, you'll see us in about 15 to 20 minutes on the Patreon after show. For the rest of you, have a great rest of your weekend, and you'll be seeing a new video from me this week as usual. Hopefully 2, if I can really make it happen. And then you'll see us again on Saturday.
Yep.
So you guys have a great weekend. We'll see some of you on Patreon. Bye.